The show features adults using adult language and discussing mature topics. You have been warned.
Foot fungus?
Foot fungus.
Oh, hello. Welcome back to the Mystery of the Silver Fleet. So, as you recall, last time the party did a great number of side quests and assisted the spaceport in all sorts of odd things that needed repaired and fixed, including a bunch of malfunctioning robots that were all corrupted by the Replacer. And the party happily recovered all of their stacks and brought them back to the captain of the guard, which is the closest thing to someone in charge that the spaceport has. That's really kind of it. As a reward, however, for helping them, you were given a safe place to rest permanently on this spaceport. So they gave you the key to the elevator that would take you up to your room. It's a red card key. It works in the elevator and takes you to a restricted floor that can only be accessed by those who have the red card keys. So everyone gets a red card key that takes you to the top floor of this particular space station. And that is your room. It's like a very large open area with side rooms that have beds and individual like sealed drawers into the walls for all of you. And it looks like quite a large number of other people could stay up here with you as well, aka NPCs. The large central area has like a sunk into the floor couch that has a hologrammatic TV in the middle. The big circular sunk into the floor couch that has like a hologrammatic TV in the middle, including a small snack station there that can print any snack you can imagine. And the kitchen has a replicator that can print food. There is no mineral replicator in here, but yeah. But that's it. You have that there.
Deborah is making a bunch of sigils around her bedding area, I guess.
Meriel will give a brief start with you, however. You exit the Penguin King, having recovered from your horrific headache that you had. It was bad. It was a really bad headache. You slept for like hours. At least. Your headache is gone. Maybe it was the brimstone that guy had left in the air after his incredibly impressive fire breath. But it's gone now, so not only the brimstone smell, but the strange man in the white suit. He's also gone.
Dang.
I mean, he might be here somewhere, but he's also gone. For now. You step out of the Penguin King. Your compatriot that was also in the Penguin King, Noelle, states that she has calibrations to do and goes back to the engines to calibrate them. You're not sure what she's calibrating since the engine is self-maintaining, but she's in there just intensely calibrating something over and over again. She seems thoroughly distracted by it. Occasionally you see her take phone, like a call, an incoming comm call from someone, but in between calibrations. You at least figured out with your intense hearing and spy skills that Noelle is receiving comm calls from the St. Vincent.
I want to drop the work calls then.
It seems very official and quite vanilla boring to listen to, so you left because that was starting to give you a headache. And you just recovered from one, so fair. You were done. You walk out, and conveniently enough, you see, well, Deborah first, because Deborah stands out, because she is the only one of her kind here. And the rest of your crew, squad, whatever you want to call them, all kind of coming in, like, from different areas and gathering around the Penguin King, kind of as you step out of it.
Oh, hey guys, what a miss.
Not much, but we appear to have our own den.
Den?
Yes.
They gave us a room here.
Oh, gotcha. Cool.
And
So are you all also having headaches, or have you been up to stuff?
Mimas got to prove
fought
their
some
worth.
stuff.
Yes.
Locatheon says, just kind of dismissively.
Hmm.
There were some droids that were locking down a level of the ship because they were infected by some sort of replacer virus. You missed all the fun.
Dang, maybe next.
I have learned an interesting concept that they are not immune to disease.
Really?
Why is it?
Yeah, go figure.
Interesting.
Isn't that right, Mimas? And the moon with the human-like mouth on it just smiles.
Good to see we still have Mimas here.
There's no getting rid of Mimas anymore.
A chime is heard overhead, and you see that the freighter that was on the outskirts of the weapon range of the station while the station was crazy has now finally started to dock. The massive freighter looks as though it carries a very, very large amount of cargo and probably practically no crew at all, hardly. As the freighter docks with the station, you see a rather kind of portly cyborg step off of the freighter. The cyborg has a part of like one eye that's cybernetic things on the side of its head. And one of his arms is completely cybernetic, and the leg on that same side. So like all of its left side is cybernetic to some degree. It's a kind of a portly man that steps off. He's got a very large nose. He doesn't really have much in the department of hair. In fact, you don't know if he has any. He's wearing a bandana and a tri-corner hat. Pretty much out of place to the regular decorum of everyone here. He has a long coat on that looks as though it was like a captain's long coat of some kind. He steps off of the ship pretty much by himself. No one else gets off the freighter at all. And you see him having a discussion with the captain of the guard.
His nose, is it like half robotic nose, or is it like
No,
there's
it's
robotic
completely a normal nose.
Okay. Because you described like his left
It's
half.
just it's wider than even my wide nose and like broad all the way up to between his eyes.
Okay.
Like you're not sure that he's completely human. He looks human, but he might be like half human, half something else.
So he's a in Dark Matter near human? One of those near human?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he has cybernetic enhancements. A cybernetic left hand and a cybernetic left foot. The left foot currently looks like a peg leg, like a cybernetic peg leg.
I wonder if the planet he's been on has a lot of treasure, but who knows.
As he, inspiration point. You definitely get one for catching that reference. But anyone else who caught that reference can go ahead and give yourself one too. And if you didn't, everyone gets one anyway.
Hooray! You get inspiration point.
Because Scotty got the reference.
You get inspiration point.
Everyone gets one.
That's worrying.
'cause
Whenever the
someone-
GM starts giving inspiration points out, shit's gonna go down.
it's like when you're in a shooter or something like that, and then like there's a bunch of health packs and ammo lying around in
Or
an
you walk into a
otherwise
room-
empty room, and it's like, I wonder if a boss fight is coming up.
Or you walk
the
into a
music
room
stops
just
and there's a
chest-high
big
walls.
door. Yeah, it's like that.
Room of just chest-high walls, and you're like, oh god.
Why am I
And-
unsaving?
Why is there a rocket
Yes.
launcher here?
As the strange captain of sorts finished speaking with the security officer, he kind of looks around like he's examining the spaceport for a particular group of people or something of some sort, and then heads your direction.
Does he seem to be looking at one of us in specific, or okay,
Nope, just
good.
kind of the group of you, specifically interested in your ship behind you,
Okay.
like looking at it, scratching his chin, his beardless chin, and he's just kind of like like looking at it like, what the heck? Like
Talurra-
really impressively staring at the colossal penguin that's docked behind you.
As I say, Talurra is a little bit paranoid right now, considering the attack that happened today on them.
Right.
I mean, he's gonna pass Noelle first.
And as he approaches your group, he goes, an interesting craft you have there. Not many I see like that around. Looks to be quite old. Tell me, how did you procure such a strange vessel? Anyone?
Talurra kind of looks and says, found it underwater.
A good place to hide it, I suppose. Must be that you're pretty resourceful to have found something like that. Mayhaps you could help me with something, and in turn, of course, I could reward you.
What's the job? What's the pay?
There's a particular planet I'm looking to find, hidden inside a dangerous nebula, one that we won't be able to take your marvelous craft inside of, but we'll be able to take it to the entrance to the nebula, as it were. There's a spaceport that has special ships to navigate this nebula. Too much oxygen to take your ship in there. It'd blow up the whole nebula. I need the planet to be intact, you see. It's got lots of accoutrements on it. Could be beneficial to all of us if you help me find it. Forget my manners. The name's Arbalest. Captain Arbalest. He takes off his tricorner hat and bows, and then puts his hat back on.
Talurra will kind of offer her hand to him. Talurra.
His cybernetic hand flips around to a hand and shakes your hand.
Nox asks Arbalest, where does that name come from?
Just not my given name, if that's your asking.
Kind of outdated, and she produces like summons in her hand, and like one of the an arbalest that is like made from the same ethereal material as her weapons. Fun fact: she could like materialize it as any kind of weapon, but she does materialize them as guns usually because that's what she used to. But she could do it as other things as well. So
neat. I like that. He looks at your projection that you've created, and he kind of goes, "Aye, referencing that, of course. As I said, 'tisn't my given name. 'Tis the name I go by now."
I go by the name of Deborah.
It's a pleasure to meet you, lass. Not too many of your kind around here. What asteroid belt do you hail from?
She would say, but I don't know where in your game she would be from.
Right. No, it's the same as the verse regularly. It just probably dwarven space, I would imagine. But that's where most of your kind are.
I would say somewhere out there. Okay. It was never established, so I don't know.
Right.
I'll get back to you.
He looks over at Eisen. He looks over at you and goes, "Fancy bit of hardware you got there. Former Marine."
Retired, but always won, yes.
One never truly ever completely retires, is what I understand.
Hey.
Good to see that your crew is well equipped. Do you fancy my offer?
If the check clears, we'll take it.
It will. And there's quite a bit of technology you could salvage as well. All sorts of different useful things you might find on your ventures.
I assume from ships that made it in but didn't make it out.
Aye, something of that nature. What, pray tell, is that? He says, pointing over to Alert.
A tool.
To who?
Alert. The pile of nanites standing behind you.
A tool.
Ah, a droid of sorts. Good, good. Might need one of those. Never know what we're going to encounter. Aye. So I'll tell you a bit about me tale if you're interested.
By all means.
By all means.
Well, let's retire to a place a bit more quiet.
Banishment. No, I'm kidding.
He walks over to one of the drinking establishments that's nearby. This particular one looks relatively unpopulated. There's a few Vect in here that are sharing stories back and forth at a table, but they pay you no, never mind.
11011? 001101.
That's literally the conversation they're having. It's just a series of numbers they chat back and forth that make no sense to anyone who doesn't speak binary.
And there's
Well, one of you understands it.
there's one fatter one that's a shadow.
I understand.
Hey, I do too.
There's
I
just,
specifically noted on my character sheet that my
that's right,
character speaks
okay.
binary.
Two
like-
of you understand that.
a fatter.
Fucking nerd.
There's like a fatter chef one. It's just like Nani manashita.
I imagine it being like so. Also under binary, I kind of understand it like how I figured it's like a little bit like in Star Wars, like understanding the beeping that the droids do and such. That's what I imagined with that, because that is actually called binary speak in Star Wars. So that's basically my inspiration here. That two droids beeping at each other like two R2 units or something like that. You can
Yeah.
understand that.
Pretty much. Sorry.
You're fine.
Okay. You retire to a corner table, and the captain takes like the most farthest chair from the two droids that were talking, and he kind of leans in to kind of talk quietly. So, here's the tale. I've been searching my whole life for this long-forgotten treasure. It was acquired by an ancient dragon, a legendary dragon of incredible size. Died long ago. Said to have looted a large number of worlds. No one knows how the dragon acquired all this treasure. I'm not interested in how, I'm interested in where, and I finally know where to find it. And I'm interested in sharing, of course, some of it with you. If you're willing to help me navigate the nebula.
Talurra will kind of look to the others and say, I'm always interested in getting paid.
A dragon, you say?
Aye,
How many
the
moon?
dead dragon.
How many celestial? Excuse me, all the grubs I ate earlier. How many celestial orbs orbit this treasure planet?
It is unknown. It is said to have a belt of strange energy around it, and a belt of asteroids. So I'd imagine plenty.
I have a question out of character. Are dragons, like fantasy D&D dragons, a thing in this universe? That we know of, at least?
Yes, and the dragon he's referring to, you've heard the story of. All of you have. That dragon is a legendary dragon. It is said that its treasure was from thousands of worlds.
Is this the mega-sized dragon in the Dark Matter?
Yes.
Okay.
This dragon has a wingspan of about 2,000 feet.
Okay.
That's not that big.
Damn.
I expected something like a wingspan of 1 astronomical unit or something like that. Come on. 2,000 feet.
This is
Rookie numbers.
That's what the book said. I would love to give it like a mile-long wingspan, but the book lists a specific size and nothing more.
I
So,
mean, if we're going with like cosmic-sized dragons, I would have expected nothing under 1 astronomical unit, like literally.
yeah.
literally
No.
the size of half a star system.
You would
it just shows
imagine-
up absolutely apocalyptic because, like, what the
Right.
fuck?
Right. You would imagine the dragon of this particular magnitude would have to have been larger than any of the others to have looted the number of worlds that it did. It was said a fleet of starcraft were taken out in when they finally killed it. They needed to use an antimatter bomb to kill it.
If you want to size of how big it is, and if you have the Dark Matter PDF, it's page 200.
Yeah, Dark Matter PDF is page 200. That craft in front of it is a fighter craft, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So
It doesn't show
if
the
you wanted to know
stats, it's just a visual.
about that big, maybe bigger. But this particular dragon was said to be legendary in size. So this particular one was probably bigger. A lot bigger.
An eternal dragon. There goes the universe. What do you all think of that?
Rip universe.
Okay, sorry.
Didn't you say that the dragon has since died?
Aye. No one ever found where it is its loot. Many empires have sought for ages to find it. None have ever thought to look in this particular nebula. Very dangerous to travel it. You have to have special craft to get in there. I know the spaceport, and I know how to get in. And I have a ship at the spaceport waiting to take us into the nebula. But we gotta get to the spaceport first. It's a jump from here, and I have the coordinates, so it won't be blind.
Why us?
You're the first ones I set eyes on that looked like you knew what you were doing. He says that, and
Bold
the other
assumption.
group... He says that, and the other group of people on the dock near you are busy taking turns dropping boxes on their toes because they're so incredibly clumsy in unloading them from their ship.
Oh,
I just picture one of the ones is just has a caution symbol, like explosive.
Yeah, and he drops it on his toe. And then the other guy picks it up and drops it on the other guy's toe.
Oh, darn it, not again!
I imagine it has like
Yeah.
a caution sign, explosive, and it's like, here, catch, and he throws it, and the other one catches
Yeet.
it with its face.
Yes. Yes, that happens a few times too. They look to be rather horribly incompetent for what they're unloading.
Dumb
You're
box.
glad your ship's far enough away from theirs that it's not going to be damaged if anything explodes.
This box is rigged.
it's more like a Three Stooges routine.
This box started hissing at me. I don't trust it.
Exactly.
This box tastes funny.
It's just
I think
chewing
it's
on the
leaking
corner of it.
Also,
Stock
our
that they
ship
chew.
is far enough away if something explodes. I'm
Yeah.
not sure about that, because that all depends on the explosion, right?
You're familiar with the type of boxes they're unloading. It has that sent warning on it for no real explainable reason.
It's fine, it just has a urinum in it.
It's painted red and everything.
They're like painted either yellow or red, and they have explosive
No,
written on it.
no,
It's painted
It
red.
has to be red.
It
Yellow is the fake box. It is the liar box.
Red.
Yellow
it's,
ones sometimes work too, but only if they have a red warning sign on them.
It's red because it
The
makes
red
the
must
box
always
move
be
faster.
Right.
They only explode if you actually shoot them, otherwise they don't explode. Or
Right,
when you
right.
hit them with a hammer, then they
Yeah.
explode too.
Must be a hammer though. Can't be a sword or anything like that.
No.
Or someone's face. Doesn't work out. It's not face impact worthy. It's got to be a hammer.
I don't
Knife
get the
works too, though.
reference.
But not the sword.
No, you know that most of what they're unloading is mining equipment, and it quite literally doesn't go off unless it's hit with an electrical charge. But they put the explosive warning on it so people don't,
Shock it.
try to mess with it. It's used in mining the salt from some of the moons around here. The area around here has got a lot of ocean worlds, and a lot of worlds that used to be ocean worlds that are now just giant salt flats. So there's a lot of salt in the area that's mined for other parts of the verse.
I found a red hat in the salt. Anyway, I see your point.
I get it.
But,
I assume you want to accompany us on this journey.
well, of course, you'll need me to navigate the nebula.
Aren't we?
Also a ship.
Don't we have?
Aye.
Don't we have other matters that we were attending to?
We do need to acquire some funds, though.
Fair enough.
Money makes everything easier.
I vaguely remember something about establishing communications with other stations in the sector.
Mm-hmm.
But I also
You
have a
do
trash
remember-
memory.
You do remember that your side quest given was there is a what's called the ECA or Elven Communications Array that is down. In order to fix the Elven Communications Array, however, you may need to kill a replacer that is known to be on the space station. A very healthy and quite undamaged replacer. So
Okay.
you do know that you're probably not equipped to do that now.
If we walk there, there's gonna be the monster's gonna have no level. It's just gonna have a skull beside its name.
Yes. Yes.
When we go into the boss room with it, the health bar doesn't appear.
It just says "run."
Yeah.
No,
pretty
it just goes in the cutscene of us being defeated. There's just no.
This isn't the dungeon finder room I agreed to.
Yeah.
I know how to solve this problem. We get in our penguin, we crash it through the place, and then shoot the heck out of the replacer. Done.
Okay, Yost.
I know. Anyway,
I was thinking about circumventing the problem in a completely different way, but I can't remember what. I think replacers don't need atmosphere or stuff like that.
yeet
Not
it into
really.
the sun. Oh wait, no, that's Warhammer 40k.
Yeah.
When in doubt, yeet it into the sun.
I mean, it is a valid strategy for.
Though luring
almost
it into
everything.
an escape pod and then
Yes,
shooting
it
the
is.
escape pod into the sun could be actually working.
How about we just focus on the job in front of us?
But you do know that you need money to upgrade your dark matter reactor, to find someone who can upgrade your dark matter reactor to a quantum drive. And you also know you need money to upgrade the sensors on your ship to detect nanites, because the sensors on your ship currently can't detect large masses of nanites, and you may blindly fly right into the thing you're attempting to stop from consuming the universe.
Yes.
So,
We do need money to purchase the material element 0. It's very hard to find.
God.
It is in 7 days.
You
All
have
right,
no idea how
um,
much I'm trying not to call it EZO because of that.
Is EZO trademarked?
I don't believe it is, but I didn't want to get too involved with all of the Mass Effect because we would not stop if it started.
well, that's true.
Too late.
Darn space dogs.
I really had to, like, I almost made, like, a Mass Effect character, so...
Meanwhile, just like outside in the space, there's just a dog. Bark, 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 bark.
just floating around barking in a spacesuit.
Oh,
Somebody let it out and didn't put a leash on it. Now it's just floating around
let the
barking
dog
and everything.
Just pooping,
And,
just pooping in space.
Just
Laika.
leaving floating turrets in the debris field outside.
Come
I
back,
love how it
Laika!
kept up for about 3 parsecs.
Wait, Laika was the name, right? Of the first dog in space?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, it was Laika.
I think that was like 65 years ago, a couple days ago.
Oh,
It-
oof.
Wasn't 1957. There we go.
Then yeah.
that was impressive. How badly you bungled that, Aaron.
That was
Like I love you, but God.
That was 2018-37. Sorry.
The power
Anyway.
of pi.
Then I believe you have. I believe that we are interested in helping you then.
Aye. Good. Well then, I suppose we should get going. No sense in lazing about. There's
You
only
just-
one thing standing between us and the treasure. And it's a particular band of pirates in the nebula we may have to fight our way through.
Oh.
A dragonborn and his pirates by the name of Captain Flint.
Cool.
But if we could fight our way past him and his miscreants, we'll be on our way to a hoard of treasure the likes none have seen.
Would they be happening to try to find the same treasure?
I was gonna say, does he just happen to be on the way, or is he competing with us?
He is competition. We will probably more than likely have to deal with him directly. I don't think we could navigate to where we need to go without getting past.
Are his lieutenants called Boom and Boom?
Perhaps one of them is.
The other one went boom.
Or they will soon.
First name Ka.
Yeah, last name Boom. I love it.
All right.
Um,
Well, let's get to the space station then.
Deborah
All right.
puts her set of hands up like this, and she starts making weird chittering sounds. And then when she finishes, because it's only like a few seconds, she asks this pirate captain, there wouldn't happen to be more about these pirates than what you're telling us, is there?
He smiles a big toothy grin. Of course not. Why would I lie to you about that?
And I'm gonna roll insight at advantage using my lunar.
Why would I
ability.
lie about that? Everybody in the group, bullshit. You're lying. You're gonna be lying.
As
to us.
I had metaphorically opened my
Everyone, that's sus, man. That's sus.
as I use the witch hex, what is it called? Pretty much, I open up my third eye, the knowing hex, and I become intuitively aware, and I have advantage on insight rolls until the beginning of my next turn. Additionally, I can choose a piece of information from a specific creature, which I'm going to point at him. Well, not in character, but him. And I'm wondering what his lowest ability score is.
His lowest ability score
Mm-hmm.
is... I suppose you could say it's Constitution.
Okay, fair enough. And then I'm going to roll insight. See how much I trust him. Wow. Because it was advantage, I got a nat 20. Pretty much what I'm trying to get out of him is Deborah has a feeling that he's pulling a classic pirate move where the pirate tells you that the other guys are the bad guys, but he's actually part of them, and he's bringing you into an ambush. And I'm wondering if that's what he's doing, or if he's not trying to pull something. And I got 23 on that, because I got a nat 20. Oh, private message, oh boy. For those that don't know, Maychain Press just updated their witch, so I'm using one of their new witch hexes.
Nice.
And Deborah says, "All right then. Perhaps before we go, maybe you should have some rest. We have all rested, but you've only arrived here."
Nonsense. The freighter I piloted in practically piloted itself. They just requested I be there for security measures.
Fair enough.
I've rested enough.
You know these pirates, don't you?
Yes, I'm familiar with them.
Had some run-ins with them?
Aye.
Maybe
Why do you think I'm
ran
the
with
only
them?
person here?
I believe they can be trusted. Everything they say is true.
Right.
My last crew met their end to that, Captain. I intend to return the favor.
Just so we're clear, we're not here to be your personal mercenaries in your vendetta against these pirates.
He's paying us. I'll happily do that.
No.
If it happens, it happens, but...
Of course. If it's avoidable, we don't even have to encounter them.
I'm
With
not
the
an
riches
assassin.
we'll acquire, it is more than capable. I'll take care of them on my own accord.
I'm not an assassin, I'm... What am I even? A scientist. I'm a scientist.
Oh, what am I?
What are any of us compared to the magnificent moons? Looks out into
Damn it,
space.
Jim, I'm a scientist, not an assassin.
Talurra, I will happily take money to murder someone. Who do you want stabbed?
I mean, does the captain have a bounty? Does his reputation precede?
Hell yeah, $20, sure. Where's the dagger? I'll stab him.
Meriel, you can give me a knowledge pirate check. What is that?
Just history or...
Murder is illegal, but $20 is $20.
I guess history?
Give me an intelligence save and or history.
An intelligence save would do me better.
History's pretty much like every knowledge check except for the ones already listed.
I've got a 19.
Ah, well then. Private message time.
Be-doo. Doo-doo-doo. So how much of a bounty is there on these pirates? Is it 9 million double dollars?
Which is just equal to 1 credit.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Sorry, because we're making references everywhere. Wasn't that the bounty for
Yeah.
Ash the Stampede? I'm trying to remember exactly what
Yeah,
it was.
double dollars was Dash the Stampede.
Yes.
Yeah, but what was it? Like 20?
20,000 yen. That's like a whole dollar.
It's always funny when when games or shows mess up the dollar thing. It's just like, oh hey, this bounty's huge, and then you turn it over. Huh. Never mind.
It's also funny when you think it's unrealistic, but then you actually learn about assassins in, I don't know, like South America, and they will actually kill you for $20. It's like, oh, fuck.
Yup.
Piss off the wrong people. Enjoy your vacation.
Like, not even $20. That will kill you for $5. Also, didn't like a U.S. Marshal get like paid $1.30 or something like that,
Yeah.
like in back in the days?
Yeah.
For bringing someone in dead or alive.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the information you remember. Once the name kind of clicks, you're like, oh, wait.
There it is. Yep. I'll take 2,000 credits I didn't have before. Let's do it.
All right. So we're heading out. She'll look to the others.
I'm ready if you are.
Zora nods and starts following.
All right.
All right. You are off to your spaceship. You arrive at the Penguin King and find Noelle in the drive room calibrating the engines.
With the engines, not the weapons?
No, it's the engines.
That's, the weapons are Eisen's thing.
Yeah.
That's his home.
Eisen calibrates the weapons.
Also, when depending on who is gone, when Eisen's gone, he calibrates the weapons. When Nox is gone, they calibrate the computer.
The computer, yeah.
When Talurra's got, when
guidance.
Talurra's
They debug the computer
Debug
system.
the computer system.
defrag their hard drives.
Yeah.
You don't need to. Yes, I do.
All right.
All right.
You head off into the Big Black. With the guidance of Captain Arbalest, you are not making a blind jump. However, the very, very sober Captain Cobble is currently piloting. So he actually pilots rather well, being sober and not trashed, sloshy drunk.
I was gonna say if he's sober, if he's stone sober, then Talurra will take over piloting, because Talurra can pilot pretty well.
He's stone sober. He pilots better. If he's
does he?
drunk,
I thought he piloted better when he was drunk.
His piloting skills go down if he's drunk.
I thought he piloted better when he was drunk, like Bender.
I would love to have made that reference, but no.
I
Maybe
figured it'd be like he needs a certain level. Like if he doesn't have enough, or if he has too much, it goes down the shitter. But if he is on a certain level, then he's like a really good pilot. But everything below or under is just awful.
It's like the stoners when they have just the right amount of weed. They are the most genius people. Give them too much and they just cannot function. It's
So he's a drunken
The point where they're just self-aware enough.
Basically, Zora. No, he does. If he hasn't drank anything, he's not remembering any of the great stories of his past as much, because dwarves drink to remember, not to forget. Humans drink to forget, dwarves drink to remember. So he is, with not thinking of his past or having delusions of all of his grandeur of the old days, he's actually more conscious and aware of what's going on.
All
right, you take off, and thanks to the coordination between Captain Arbalest and Captain Cobble, you avoid the space dog and make the jump that is necessary to take you to the edge of the nebula. A brief blip later, and you are now floating towards a spaceport that looks like a crescent moon shape. It's a bright white spaceport shaped like a crescent moon. There's a lot of different ships coming in and out of here. It appears to have its own artificial atmosphere and artificial gravity around its current location. It's just on the edge of the nebula, and the nebula is a beautiful color of blue and purple. As you get to the spaceport, the artificial atmosphere and gravity kind of kick in. The Penguin King rights itself based on the station's location, and you park in one of the open ports. Captain Arbalest gets off first and sort of walks towards the port master, which is approaching the ship. What is your purpose here? We are parking this craft for a brief period of time and picking up my other ship to navigate the nebula. You note that this station is half in the nebula and half out of the nebula. All of the craft that come from the outside park outside the nebula, and those that are inside the nebula can launch from the other half of the spaceport in the nebula. These special craft look similar to old ships that would float on water. They don't look like they would be a spaceship, but they're also navigated by some strange sort of like, not really a solar sail, because there's not a lot of sun out here. There's not really a sun in the area, and thankfully so. The heat from the sun would blow up the nebula, since the nebula is a very high oxygen concentration, which your scanners picked up when you approached. Gave you a brief, flashy warning that said, "Danger, high oxygen content detected. Recommend avoiding." So you parked and got out, and this is what you're looking at. Captain Arbalest leads you across the spaceport. He pays for the parking fee himself. The portmaster says, "Stay as long as you'd like. Don't cause any trouble." Arbalest kind of grins at him and walks towards a nearby empty ship. The nearby empty ship, straight across on the other side of the dock, is a odd construction. It looks similar to wood, crafted from a tree of some sorts, but it's very clearly not wood, and some sort of plasteel, just designed to look like it. It looks to be powered by some sort of strange solar sail and some specially designed non-combustible ion engine. It shoots ionic particles behind the ship in a concentrated cone, which cause propulsion in that direction. Similar to the old sailing ships of yore, there is also a big wheel that you turn to steer the craft.
What a
and you can
surprise,
push
this
it.
guy's a hipster.
Right, and you can push it forward or pull it backward to, go up
Pitch
and
and
down.
yaw.
Yeah, pitch and yaw, exactly. Allowing for all sorts of crazy maneuvering that may or may not need to happen. Welcome aboard. Many of these craft haven't been given any fancy names because they don't function outside the nebula, so no one bothered to really name them anything.
That's really bad luck.
They just have a designation number kind of written and printed on the side. You're not sure if Captain Arbalest owns this one or if he's renting it. That's completely unclear. The fact that he has the keys for the wheel lock and unlocks that and begins to fire up the engines might indicate that he at least owns it or has the rental key. You're not sure which. Although you do see a lot of transactions, and there is a boat rental place right next to where they're at called Skiff Rentals, and they rent these weird crafts out. Majority of these crafts are just called skiffs by the locals. You hear that term referred to a lot in many different languages by the locals here. There is quite literally any race imaginable from any possible imagination on this dock. These people come in and out of this nebula all the time. It is renowned for being able to navigate the nebula without a spacesuit. Just fly on the deck of the ship like you're almost in the sky, as it were, of some incredibly huge planet. But there's no planet. It's just a lot of atmosphere inside this strange nebula. It looks as though your life suits all tell you, because all of you have your life suits on, assumedly, because you didn't tell me you didn't. So I'm just assuming you have them on. The life suit you have on indicates that the area is breathable and has a safe atmosphere free of any known bacteria.
So keeping that life suit on.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a nautical style ship, but has
Yep.
a set of electronic key locks.
Yes, for the wheel.
So just immediately gets up to the wheel and whip whip. I just imagine the ship just flying or flashing headlights somehow.
Yeah, kind of.
The ion engine just pulses a couple times.
Yeah. In the distance, you see very large, one would say almost Leviathan class whale-looking creatures of some kind just flying around the nebula. There's like a group of probably 10 of them. They don't appear to be getting anywhere near the spaceport because the spaceport's at the edge of the nebula, which obviously they wouldn't want to leave. But they are very, very large, probably larger than some of the spacecraft here, and the largest of them about as big as the Penguin King. Kind of just floating around like big fish, big flying fish almost.
So Zora would immediately climb up into the rigging on the side and just hang off of there, just keeping an eye out for everything.
This nebula, any of you who take your helmet off, has a oddly refreshing smell. Much like crisp, clean air. By the way, if you take your life suit off, please tell me.
Perrier.
Pretty much. And after a few adjustments to the controls and assumably programming something into the computer there next to him, the Captain Arbalest begins the craft's navigation. You noticed Captain Cobble decided to stay with Locathion on the Penguin King to guard the ship.
Yeah.
Noelle also stayed behind, stating that the engines were in bad need of calibration after the jump. You're not sure what she's calibrating again, because they all seem to work just fine. But she really seemed concerned after the jump that they needed to calibrate.
It's her thing. She enjoys it.
All right, and ignoring the dogs on the other ships in the port, you take off into the nebula. The movement of this craft is rather slow at first, but begins to speed up as the sails sort of billow outward like they're filled with wind. And the ion engines behind sort of give the craft a gentle nudge in the appropriate direction. They look as though, based on how the captain moves the wheel, that the actual individual engines move in response to the wheel. Kind of like the rudder of an old boat, but, with pitch and yaw.
This is such a strange ship.
Beautiful.
I love it.
You feel a breeze, those of you who don't have your helmet on. Those of you who have your helmets on, you notice there is actually wind here.
Talurra is keeping her stuff on. She just is like, yeah, I'm not risking going to get killed by this thing. If there is something bad that happens, I'm not taking that risk.
And you sail through the nebula. Let me see if anything crazy happens. And the red dice of doom appear to be in your favor this evening. Whether that is a good thing or not is yet to be decided. You travel for quite a large amount of time. You begin to get kind of tired. You've been awake for a long period of time. It's been maybe a day on a celestial clock of sorts.
All right. Well, Talurra's going to just kind of on and off nap during this kind of trip. She's not of any use to flying this thing, so she's just gonna nap.
All right.
Yeah. Nox is like inspecting how this ship works because it's kind of interesting. It's like a novelty thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it appears to almost seem novelty, but you're thankful that the engines function the way they do, as the oxygen count of this particular nebula is incredibly high percentage of oxygen. Not 100%, but it's like close to 80 to 90% oxygen in some areas, which pretty much means a spark or a flame could ignite the nebula. You did note quite a large amount of notations on the dock stating, please avoid using any fire-based spells for your own protection.
Just one mess up and just everything is gone.
Just one fire genasi walking onto the station. Oh no.
yeah.
Everyone looks back at Vinny as he's working with his time bomb.
I'm actually looking at Eisen with his rocket hammer.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I should use this now.
Don't use that.
As you travel through the nebula, the night passes unhindered. You all get some rest. Captain Arbalest sleeps in like a hammock below deck. There's a bunch of hammocks set up below deck that you can sleep in. They don't appear to be occupied. There's little foot lockers at the end of each of the hammocks. They're all kind of set up away from each other, but they're all in one big room. Arbalest gets his rest, and the ship kind of navigates itself in a steady forward direction, like an autopilot of sorts. As you kind of travel and fly along, you notice something, those of you on deck that spend any time wandering around above deck, notice that the ship's navigation system is kind of plugged into the computer, and it looks like this strange, almost like the back of something that wires were dangling off of that's plugged into the ship's computer, navigating you on your journey. It's like a semicircular shape, and it's kind of, the other half of it looks kind of square-esque, like a right angle with like a semicircular shape to it.
All right.
About like that.
No one really sees Deborah for most of the trip, but they do see Mimas exploring the place a lot. Hovering around shoulder height, just floating around.
Assuming Deborah is some dark corner anchored there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like
She's hanging upside down in the storage bay down below, in the dark corner.
The bilge, or the lower half of the ship, appears to be where a lot of the cargo is just kind of chucked. There's a lot of dried and preserved foods down here, all sealed in plasteel containers. The plasteel containers are sort of like joyously designed like barrels. You're not sure why they did that, because cubes stack better, but whatever, they used barrels. It's inconvenient and weird, but they did. So all the plasteel containers below deck are all barrels of various types. They do, however, conveniently fit into barrel-shaped locking compartments on the ship. So those that are stuck below deck won't fly all over the place if the ship happens to tumble in some sort of crazy maneuver. So thankfully, they're not going to actually go anywhere. But, you know, if you're below deck when the ship is maneuvering, it might be a painful ride.
Deborah's probably got random pieces of paper that she can find, and she's just writing random little symbols and runes on them.
Okay. All right. There'll be a brief period where you can role play amongst yourselves here. I have to use the little Dungeon Master's room.
This is quite an odd ship. Then again, I am used to the Dwarven craft.
Yeah, I'm not even used to this kind of ship. It's odd, to say the least.
It's certainly strange, but
I like it. I think it has charm to it.
Does anyone have a light?
Are you saying the ship is charmed?
I think it looks nice. Like not magically charmed. It's just appealing.
I believe it has some kind of magic charm to it in a way. As Deborah's hand goes over the plasteel wood, whatever. How else
That's
would
just
this,
engineering.
How else would such a thing like this function?
Technology. Talurra just kind of says bluntly.
Magic.
That seems to be the main religion for all non-Skathári. Technology.
If you want an explanation, I'm sure Nox can give you one.
You're pretty sure Deborah takes it off as the equivalent of you giving me Bible verses.
Yeah,
want to
I figured.
what? Sorry? A what? I
I
didn't
said-
quite get.
I said you could explain to Deborah all of this technology shit.
And she is interested, but you can tell she takes it more as a superstition thing. She doesn't take it like a literal fact of reality. But then how does this circuit have electricity going through it? What is its source from? Stuff like that.
Is it just the equivalent of, but why? But why?
Because.
I don't see how something this small could make this thing propel. Something so huge.
Magnets,
Anyway.
how do they work?
Oh, that's easy. They come from moons.
Do they?
Yes, along with most cheeses.
Hera's face right now.
The great shaman of our tribe, Gromit, used to mention about them.
Oh,
Jeez.
props for that
Jeez.
reference, because I love that. All right. Well, as you approach what would be a day 3 of your journey through this nebula here, you do see in the distance a cluster of asteroids. This cluster of asteroids looks rather difficult to navigate around because of its sheer size, and it looks like you're heading towards it.
Is Captain on deck?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's
All right.
steering.
Fireball.
Captain look aware.
I'm kidding.
He does not seem to care. He's just steering the vessel that direction.
Talurra laying down. If I die, I die. Whatever.
Is this something
just
we should
sitting on
be
deck.
in the ship for, Captain?
If you wish to be. You miss all the fun if you're not on deck.
Deborah
Zora, is that
scurries
in
up the
crow's
mast.
nest, by the way.
Yeah, I beat you to it.
No, we tied. If you want to roll off, I will roll off with that.
I have an innate
You're
climb
both up.
speed.
You're both up there. There's plenty of room.
Just two people fighting to be on top of the ship.
If Zora's in the crow's nest, I'll just hang out upside down on the bottom of the crow's nest.
I mean, I figured you'd be more at home hanging from the rigging.
Probably going around there as well.
You pass into the large cluster of asteroids, and the captain navigates the ship rather deftly and quite skillfully through the asteroid belt, avoiding any collisions with any of them. However, you do note that this asteroid belt, given the cluster of the asteroids and how they're moving, would make an ambush very easy from anyone who's particularly looking to ambush someone in the belt.
All right, if that's the case, then yeah, Talurra definitely will be like, keep her eyes peeled.
Okay. Everyone give me perception checks.
Uh-oh.
Where's my perception? Ooh. Dirty 20 for me.
That's a net 1 for me.
What the heck? What is with these dice? 21. I'm wasting all the net 20s on it. It's burning itself.
5.
5. Lovely.
16 for Zora.
Okay.
$14 for Eisen.
All right. Okay. Most of you, Nox excluded, note that you do see some strange movements from some of the asteroids up ahead. Movements as in you think they're occupied.
Then yeah, Talurra's gonna call that out to the captain.
As the captain looks over that direction and sort of notes it, he attempts to steer away. The red dice of doom are in your favor. He rolled a 20. He steers away from where the asteroids are that look as though they're occupied. However, the occupants of the asteroid appear to also be paying attention to what's going on. And they jump off of the asteroids they're on towards the deck of the ship. They have glider wings that look like bird wings almost. They kind of glide them over to the vessel, and they detach them the minute they get to the vessel.
That's cool.
So, initiative.
All right.
Great. My dumbass now has to get down from the crow's nest.
Just jump. Do a flip.
Don't tempt me.
Why don't you use your wings to glide down?
Yeah. Anytime I'm not speaking an accent does not be out of character. I've made mention of this before.
Right.
Deborah got a 10, or 11, my bad. Yeah, might as well put it in chat.
23.
Yeah, I was posted in chat because
I rolled.
Also say it out loud
20.
for the audience.
yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, I have an 18.
19 for Zora.
13.
I got a 10.
Poor rogue.
I got a rock.
No,
He had a crow in the
Deborah
nest.
could have.
Oh. Ooh, 23.
Damn.
Somebody's got some crazy initiative. And the pirates. Oh dear. Oh, okay.
We are the pirates. We just have a bunch of pies.
Pirates.
A bunch
No,
of...
no, I feel bad about killing them, not the pirates.
How to get Hera to not fight an enemy? Just make them pirates.
Is it a sweet potato pirate?
Now I want to play a pirate.
Oh,
Is it just a baker rat?
oh,
It's a rat that
adorable.
knows how to bake pies.
I was gonna say, Scotty, there you go. You got a guest character for your Mist of Crim Valley game.
No, that's too
I'm a
innocent.
pirate.
I'm already destroying
I'll
one
even give
innocent
them-
character. I don't need the other one to destroy.
I'll even give them you can even give them like a,
I can
a
make it.
cutesy little voice,
I
too.
can make the pirate less innocent by making dream pies.
Just add them to the
Oh,
pile of
boy.
Just a tiny cute red person that bakes people like children in
Bakes
pies.
people, you know.
No big deal.
I mean,
There are 3 witches that we should introduce you to.
They
I mean,
they
they're
might be.
children. They're like quarter people at most.
But twice as sweet.
Right.
So you can kill 4 before you commit a whole murder.
Yes, exactly.
There's the initiative roll.
That's
As
a lot
it
of
were.
pie
Brilliant as
already.
people.
Because they like
So,
only like
you
little
get a
pies
brief
like this,
description
that's
of
fine.
what's aboard the deck. You see a dragonborn with 6 eyes, kind of lined up like this. On his dragonborn face, his skin is of a kind of almost opalescence kind of color, like an opal kind of color. Based on how light catches it, it seems to refract a different color, or like almost a rainbow-like effect. And the crew that is with this pirate is a giant slug wielding blasters, a rather large-looking, angry, kind of red-colored male species of Scots, of Deborah's race there, who I can't pronounce correctly, so I'm just gonna... Skathári, thank you. A kind of reddish-black male Skathári.
Hello.
Has like pinchy hands.
No, I'm kidding.
And
Hello there.
and what looks to be a kind of angry gnome, but the gnome looks as though it might be fighting against its will. It looks as though something on the space armor that it's wearing might be forcing it to fight you. It's fighting from inside some sort of mech-like craft, which has like a gun on one arm and like a just a hand on the other one. And it looks as though like wires are actually plugged into its head. It looks as though it's like just like steering the ship with this like kind of look on its face. Like
it looks like it wants to give skulls to the skull god. Got it.
Yes. But the 6-eyed dragonborn, as they all kind of land on the deck, knocks right before your turn. The 6-eyed dragonborn goes, "I see you've arrived, Arbalest. Pity you won't make it out this time alive. Give me the navigation instrument, and maybe I'll spare your crew this time and just kill you." Nox, it's your turn.
I shoot him in the face.
Reminds me of Alien Isolation, where I shot the marshal in the face just to see if it would let me, and yes, it did, and he just straight up died.
Beautiful.
Games usually don't do that. They're just like, "Hey, watch
No.
it," or something. But no, he was just
Yeah.
like hole in the head.
It just straight killed him.
Comparatively,
I rolled
that was
a nat
probably
20.
a better fate.
Comparatively, yes, most likely.
A nat 20.
Mm-hmm.
That
Do you
is definitely a hit.
Are we using the chart thing?
We certainly
used it
are.
last time.
Okay. I gotta ask every time just to be sure.
Yep. Nope, that's fine.
Because sometimes, you know, like
80.
the last session we might have had like, I don't know, 50 nat 20s. So
Yeah, there was probably close to 20 of them.
all from
Most
oh,
of
who
them.
was that? Oh right, Hera. Hey. What was this? What was your total?
Hera having
80.
the opposite issue that Faye was having in Quest for the Quantum Rose.
Mhm.
Can
So-
I borrow those loaded dice?
No.
The target is pushed back 5 feet and falls prone, which actually makes your other shots suck, because when they're prone, you have disadvantage on your ranged attacks.
I only have one, so it's fine. And it's also fitting because I used my force dart, which deals force damage, so... And for 31 damage of force in the face.
Dang.
Nice.
Eat that.
All right. Okay. You hear the disembodied barks of a distant space dog. You're not sure where it's coming from or why somebody has it outside of your window unattended.
Curse you, space dog!
It's Zora's turn.
So, he's knocked prone. How close are his friends?
He's knocked prone. The slug was to his right, your left, and the other two were to his right.
How
Your
close to him?
They were right next to him. They're all standing in a line. Now he's just behind him on the ground.
I'm wondering how I should do this. How far from the crow's nest is it now?
You are 100 feet from the deck.
Oof. Okay, then I would ask if I can pull this off.
All right. Ask away.
Damn you, Vex, for giving me the idea. If I jump, can I do an acrobatic skill to grab on to the rigging to at least slow my descent to negate any type of, well, at least some of fall damage that I would probably take?
If you succeed the athletics check, sure.
You're not gonna arrow Flynn the mast, are you? Or
The mast? No. I want my movement to be...
If you fail the athletics check, though, you're going to land prone on the deck.
Superhero landing.
It's worth the risk. Do it.
Yeah, I want to do it.
Knees.
I want to jump from the crow's nest, use my acrobatics to grab onto the rigging if I can, and land with my laser sword. I want to attack the prone dragonborn.
Okay. Using your laser sword, because the other word's copyrighted. We don't say that here.
Your
That's why I had to stop.
Your non-copyright plasma blade.
Copyright
Plasma
laser sword.
Aha! You're not fooling anyone.
Oh no!
He's watching.
It's the Elder God.
It's the Mickey of Mouse.
So first and foremost, I'm assuming the acrobatics check.
Yes, because that determines whether or not you actually attack him or yourself.
Lovely. Come on.
Wish I could help.
Would a 17 do it?
Yeah.
Yes.
17 does it, but it does it to the point where you almost think you didn't do it, as you just barely grab onto the rigging and kind of spin around and land. And you were literally like a brief moment where your hands almost let go of the rigging, but you managed to hold on with your athletics check there to do that. So you had a brief moment where you thought you were just going to cascade off into space, but you stuck it.
Okay.
Well, the nebula, not really space.
My idea was to land on the captain with my attack.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, just making sure.
Make your attack roll to
Okay.
see if you get through his armor.
And while I'm doing that, I am going to go ahead and use my combat casting ability.
I should note that you notice the captain is wearing a heavy impulse frame. That's his armor.
Does that tell me of any type of resistance or, resistance he might have?
If you were trying to attack him with a normal weapon, it might not be very effective. But, laser sword's fine.
Okay. So yeah, if that's the case, then I definitely want to go ahead and use my combat casting and use Ray of Sickness if I hit him.
Yo, get down with the sickness.
Well, he's already down.
Shooting the
I
ray
just
of
need
the
to hit this.
sickness.
So, rolling for the attack.
All right.
16 to hit.
Miss.
Oof.
You hit his heavy impulse spring.
All right. Then I'm going to go ahead and immediately use my bonus action to activate my planar focus of Earth. Gives me an additional 2 AC, and I do need to ask, what is his CR?
You just know that?
It's for
There's
a
an
feat.
ability, a feat I have, that depending on the CR, depends on if I get this bonus or not.
Oh.
It's like Iron Hero or something like that.
What's the restriction?
Yeah, it is Iron Hero, and if the creature's CR is higher than my level, I get an additional 2 AC, point blank.
So is the CR 4 or higher?
I sent it to you in chat.
Sweet, that answers my
Not
question.
stated out loud.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I do have my answer, though. Okay, I'm good. That would be my turn.
All right.
Made it down
Next
from the
on
crow's
initiative,
nest. Breaking wood.
Talurra.
Ooh, yay, it's me. I have a question. How grouped up are they?
They are all like standing in a line.
Okay.
Like, they're
Like-
standing this way to you.
Ah,
and
Power
the
Ranger.
captain was right here, and now he's back here on the ground.
Ah, Power Ranger style. Got it. Side by side.
With
Yeah.
me on top of him.
They all kind of landed side by side.
hmm Each have their own
Alright,
unique
well.
color explosion behind them. Yep.
Right.
I will.
Start reading my script, Scott.
Well, I guess I'm going to use my my nice dash in to just. There's a downed enemy so that I get advantage on if I punch him while he's down, so I might as well take advantage of that. And I will use yeah, probably I'll use Molten Blade because that one's actually hold on, is that okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'll use Molten Blade because that means that anyone around him can get out of the range in time, potentially, including the other people. All right, so that is.
What's your to hit?
It is a 25 to hit.
That hits.
All right. So 1d6 plus a d8. Yes, the d8. All right. That's 22 damage it takes. Of
Okay.
fire. And then I will, since I'm just looking at my thing. Yeah, I'll pretty much end my turn there.
Okay.
Dash in, and there's now fire surrounding the captain.
And
All
I'm
right.
in any danger of being affected by that.
Only if you end your turn in the fire.
So the fact that it starts with my turn already passed is
It does not
No,
matter.
it's irrelevant.
Either you have to enter it or end your turn in it.
perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, that's why I decided that one, because the other one, the thundering one, can hurt you actively. So I'm like, nope, I'm going to take the one that can't actively hurt my teammate.
I appreciate that. Surprising from an assassin.
What? You appreciate that I didn't just pop you for 1d8 damage?
Do you remember what Demona has done? I'm trying to keep this character separate, but
I do, yes, because I got belted because of one of the things she did.
indeed. So I was kind of hoping, you're not doing the payback, but I
No,
can't
no,
rule it
hell
out.
no. Talurra has no clue what you did.
So you guys are kind of like all kind of dogpile on the captain, because the captain only takes up a 5-foot square, And to the left and right of the captain laying on the ground is an empty space. So I'm assuming some of you maneuvered there instead.
I mean, I can kind of land wherever.
And
so.
then Zora, I'm going to say you're standing where the captain was standing, since the captain got shunted back 5 feet and then fell over. So you're standing basically flanked on either side by the two guys, the slug and the rather insane looking gnome with wires plugged into his head. So the pirates are going to go, and the captain is going to have too many of those things. So Nox, you hurt the captain the most. Are you within melee range?
She's
No.
not. I can confirm this for you. Hera's apparently in space right now.
Got it.
Sorry, what? I fully zoomed out for a moment.
I said, are you in melee range?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Unless someone moved up to me to punch me, but otherwise I'm not.
Nope.
You're the captain, so that would be a no.
What's your AC?
14.
Okay. You get hit with an impactor cannon from the captain's armor. You take 23 damage. From that.
All right,
Impactor cannon on the side of the armor.
That breaks my shield, and I take some additional damage.
And the captain stood up from prone before he did that. And what else can he do? I guess Zora and Talurra, you're the ones next to the captain?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Nox just fired at it from far away. Okay. Talurra.
So.
The captain, I guess the captain would draw an attack of opportunity from two of you. Zora and Talurra can make an attack of opportunity.
All right.
Captain, as he basically moves through your threatened squares.
I don't think I get to use my channeling ability for that, do I?
No,
Okay, I didn't
it's
think
just
so.
a basic attack with your weapon, if you have a melee weapon.
It's a melee attack, yeah.
If you do not have a melee weapon, you cannot make an AoE.
I cast Fist.
It's definitely a melee weapon.
Well, you still can, but it'll just be a punch. And just,
Right, it would just be like,
So that's a nat 20 from me.
all right, that's
19 for mine.
definitely hit. 19 just meets his armor.
Oof.
So you hit.
That's scary. Okay. What did the crit get?
Yeah, what's your crit
I have to
percent?
roll a D100, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Ooh,
That was a
max damage from the laser sword.
right, what'd you do?
74.
What was your damage, Zora?
Oh, sorry, 8 for mine.
Okay.
And I got a
Gotcha.
74 for my
Mm-hmm.
crit table.
You got my favorite one. You know how you normally roll
Ooh.
double? You roll triple.
Ooh. So it means I roll 3 dice?
Yep.
You roll 3 plus 1 additional.
Oh yeah, plus 1 additional for the crit. Because I'm
Oh, okay.
Warmage.
not
What
from
do
the
you
crit,
what do you
right?
normally roll? If it wasn't
So
crit.
I'd roll 1d6,
Mhm.
and then if I crit, I add an additional. So no,
Nope,
you do
it's
an
added
extra die
after.
of damage.
It's added after. It's an additional die of damage
Yeah.
on a crit.
So-
it's
so
added
do-
after.
So
Actually,
it'll
no,
be
not
th-
with this one, Hera. Hera, this isn't a spell attack roll. This is just a regular attack roll.
Oh, it's just okay.
It's just because I can't
Yeah.
use a bonus action.
Right. you
Okay,
can't
so
use
it would
any-
be
just
3d6 instead of 1d6.
Yeah. 5, 6, 7, 8.
You should totally get Warmage. Because then you can
Probably.
use spells on opportunity attacks and
Like,
such.
can I use a reaction as a bonus action as a reaction? I don't think I can.
No.
Yeah.
No, but you can use action. Like if you have a spell that uses an
I
attack.
don't have any action spells.
Oh. Oh well.
So that'll be 15 more damage.
15?
15, 1-5.
Okay. All right.
And
what
also,
was that from?
bludgeoning. I just punched him.
Okay.
And
Hang on.
actually, 1 second.
Okay.
I think I'm trying to.
The blade cantrips are one action. They're not bonus actions.
The blade ones are
All the blade cantrips.
the molten blade.
Zora and
they are
Talurra, both of you need to give me a dexterity save.
Okay, wait.
Alright.
Question real quick.
Uh-huh.
How close am I to them? Because I'm just in like the netting and stuff up above. Am I within 60 feet? Is pretty much what I'm asking.
You were up where Zora was. You were 100 feet.
Okay. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
You're fine. Yep. Zora and Talurra, give me a dexterity save.
22.
23.
Okay. You each take 15 radiant damage instead of 30. As the captain goes and breathes a laser beam at you.
I knew it. He's a laser dragonborn.
Yeah.
As it kind of breathes this laser at you, the spines down its back glow the same color as the laser.
Perfect.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Ouch,
very
but also
painful.
cool.
It's very painful, though.
Yes, it was.
That was just the captain's turn.
Also, I have a question. How far away did he move?
He moved behind you, so his laser would hit both you and Zora.
Because I'm trying to. Okay, so he's out of fire range. The fire then.
Right.
Okay. Actually, he did enter the fire, so he'd also take the fire damage, I believe.
If that's how the spell works.
Because I'm trying to read it. 1 second. On a hit.
Does it work if he walks through it?
Yes. At the
He
start of
flew
your
over
next
it.
turn, any creature that enters the space or ends its turn there. So yes.
Oh, he flew over it though. So would that
he
count?
flew?
Yeah.
Okay, if he flew, then he didn't enter the space.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. The reason you both got the attack is because it literally activated his heavy impulse frame and flew over you and landed behind you,
Okay,
and then
then yeah.
breathed his weapon.
Yeah,
his breath
he
weapon.
would have been out of it then.
As he kind of stood a certain way like this, his helmet kind of opened up, and then his laser breath fired out at you, and he moved his arms back, and the helmet closed again.
Nice.
wasn't
the rest of
the-
his crew.
Also, ow.
That wasn't a legendary action, was it?
No, it was not.
Okay.
You have not seen him use any of those yet.
It's their turn, yeah.
Well, the rest of the crew is not going to use ranged weapons in melee range, so they all move away from you, but not necessarily defensively. However, you all used your actions to make AOs already, so you don't get any. And they're all going to open fire on Nox.
Ow.
Rip
Oh,
me.
no. F.
Oh no.
This is
F.
how you die, Hera.
This is how I die.
What was your AC? 14?
Yep, it's pretty trash.
Okay.
That's pretty bad. Wow.
2 of them hit you. You take a total of 14 radiant damage as they fire ion cannons at you from their armor.
Dang.
How you doing?
One of them fired at you and just missed so horrifically.
I'm alive?
Wow, I am shocked you're alive.
I mean, one of them missed apparently. Right, wait. Weren't there only 3?
Yeah. 3 of them shot at you, 2 of them hit.
No, I thought total, including the captain.
No, there's 3 and then the captain, so 4 altogether.
Yeah, the
All right.
slug, the gnome, and then the bug boy. And then the
I should state that you know that the others are wearing an impulse frame while the captain is wearing the heavy impulse frame. Eisen, you identify all this as military hardware. Speaking of which, Eisen, it's your turn.
So
Is there
who-
cover anywhere?
You're on the deck of a boat. No.
Fuck my life then.
You could go below deck. That's the only cover you get.
who's-
Well, then I'm first going to
It's not your
fire a
turn,
shot.
though. It's not your turn, though.
It's not your turn.
Eisen's.
Oh, I thought you said it's my turn. Sorry, that's my bad. My bad.
No, you're good. It's Eisen's.
Oh, back of the boat. Who's the closest?
The closest is the big slug.
Well, I'm gonna go drop some salt on it with a hammer.
All right.
Will a 18 hit?
Okay. Do you engage the rocket of the hammer, or do you just use the hammer?
Well, I don't want to immolate the entire nebula, so I'll just use the hammer.
Okay. Good choice. All right.
Thank
Go
you
ahead.
for paying
Continue
attention,
with your
man.
attack. I just wanted to make sure that little tidbit of.
What?
Exactly.
Let me just use firebolt real quick. No big deal.
I mean,
Yeah.
go out in a blaze of glory and take everybody else with you, but
Fire that to the after the ship, and we can ride the shockwave out of the nebula later.
Awesome. I love the catched references that are here. This is great. Yeah. So what was your attack?
18.
That
hit.
hits. That hits for sure.
Alright. So I bring down the hammer with 10 bludgeoning on this thing.
All right. It looks as though it took that damage normally with no resistance, and painfully, of course. Okay. Do you do anything else?
No. That's it.
Okay. Deborah,
Mm,
do you skitter down the rigging?
no, it's faster if I glide.
Yeah. Okay.
So I glide and just circle around. And I glide horizontally 10 feet for every 5 feet I normally would fall. So I use my 30 feet of movement to fall 30 feet with a glide, and I use that whole distance to just glide and circle around and land back
Okay.
30 feet below
All
where
right.
I was.
Okay.
And then I'm debating on what to do next, because I'm still 70 feet away. I will use an action
Okay.
to make Mimas's teeth turn sharp.
All right.
And Mimas will float over to the crazy looking gnome and try
Okay.
to nom on the cords going into his skull.
All right.
Dirty 20.
That is definitely a hit.
That will be a con save. Starts nomming.
What's the DC?
10. It's
It
not that.
passes.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say it's not that bad. All right, so it takes damage, but I'm checking how much damage. Oh, right. Okay, he takes 4 piercing damage. Straight 4
Okay.
piercing. That was my bonus action. So that's everything I can do.
Mimas deftly chews through some of the wires, but
Mhm.
there's still a few of them plugged into its head. You think you probably could definitely pull the other ones out with another successful bite like that.
Okay.
But that was your turn. So last but not least, Meriel, your turn to join the fray.
Oh boy. So who's
There
the
is a slightly injured slug, a slightly injured deranged gnome, a completely uninjured third guy thing.
The bug man.
That looks a lot
Yeah.
like a very red version of Deborah, but a man version, so not as pretty. And then the captain, who looks pretty messed up. Although the captain definitely has the best equipment, most of the crew is uninjured.
I'm under the impression that if they lose their captain, teamwork falls apart, in theory. So I would like to.
It's a sound theory.
I do have a repeater that I would like to try and fire at him.
All right, fire away.
How's a 17 do?
17 sounds like you just deflected off the armor.
Ah, dang it.
And gosh darn it. You do anything else?
Let's see.
Do you want to bamf around a little?
How far away is the gnome?
The deranged gnome is approximately 10 feet from you.
Okay. Could I end my turn by doing a telestep behind him?
You certainly can.
And I think that's what I'd like to do.
Okay. The deranged gnome has several wires plugged into the top of his head. Mimos has chewed through some of them. You see there are still a few wires here. From this angle, you can see that the wiring actually plugs into a part of the suit, which has a red glowing light. A red glowing light inside there that matches a red glowing light inside the captain's suit. You note that because of how close you are to the backside of the armor. And you also are very close to the backside of the captain's armor. So you note that brief connection on your bamfed in. Okay, beginning again, Nox.
I materialize a second pistol, take one shot at the slug and one on the captain.
All right. What damage did these pistols do?
I mean, they're force damage,
Okay.
1d6 normal.
Okay, that's fine. You're good. I just want to double check.
That's a 17 on the captain.
Miss?
Yep. And I rolled double nat 20s, despite disadvantage against the slug.
Where are you hiding these horseshoes, Hera?
I don't know.
Roll your percentage.
I call sus.
Oh my god.
We can't vote her out. She's doing her tasks.
I guess.
75.
You do triple.
But we
I don't
already
even need to look.
we already
I don't even need to look. I know what that result is. You do triple.
we can't vote her out. We already voted Orange out this round.
Oh, that's true. We're still
Orange was
Best decision
celebrating.
we
pretty
ever
sus.
made.
We're still celebrating that. So
I'm just glad it's over.
it's not over.
The stress, at least, is.
Yeah.
For
How's Nox looking, by the way? Are you like a giant bruised eye and you're like limping on one leg, or?
I have 9 of 32 HP or something like that.
Okay.
9 of 38. That's 37 damage for the slug. Force.
Holy crud.
Okay, the slug looks pretty messed up.
I'm getting incredibly lucky with these crits. Like, how often do you roll a double nat 20 on a disadvantage?
Yeah, that's pretty insanely rare. Zora.
I'm just waiting for this to bite me in the ass.
You're gonna get a double nat 1
Three nat one
advantage.
in a row. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what you're saying is you're getting a normal cat roll.
A wall of nat ones.
Oof, there's that bus again.
Choo-choo.
Talurra, is the Ring of Fire still a threat?
Ring of Fire?
Yes, it would be still a threat. But you're in the fire technically, so you can't enter the fire space. You're already in it.
So I can move out of it without
Yes.
effects. Okay.
You just can't end your turn or walk into it. You couldn't walk, step out, and then step back in again.
Okay. So if that's the case, I'm gonna go move up to the captain.
All right. You maneuver around the ring of flame and over to the captain. There's still plenty of space.
All right. I think it's time to take off the kitty gloves. I'm going to take a swing at him using my channeling ability.
All right.
The chromatic orb.
All right.
Oh no, not the bell. Oh wait, wrong game.
Actually, yes, thunder damage.
All right.
I can't trust anything else not to do, not to destroy us all.
Okay.
Well, maybe cold, but anyways.
Cold would be fine.
I'd actually rather you go with cold than with thunder because
Because what?
that's a spark. That's a spark.
Thunder is more of a sound wave.
Thunder is sound wave. Lightning
Oh,
is a
that's
spark.
right, thunder.
Yeah.
I'd say.
That's why I didn't know lightning.
Lightning and fire
There we
damage.
go.
Might
I
not
was
be the
gonna
best.
say, that fun fact, that's both of my spell types I'm using currently.
Honestly,
oh,
I
no.
blame decades of video games conditioning us wrong.
Yep.
I still wish they would have called it Sonic, like they did in the other editions, instead of
Well,
Thunder.
a
But whatever.
damage type done by a spell states it does that damage type. It does not state it leads a lingering effect of that type that could affect the atmosphere. So long as you're not, I don't know, laying down a ring of fire on the ship, you should be fine.
Whoops.
So it's a 21 to hit with that.
That's definitely a hit on the captain.
Thank goodness.
Hooray.
That means 4d8 coming right up. Need to find another d8. There's one. Okay.
There is a possibility this could be the finishing blow if you do enough damage.
Ooh.
At least towards the captain.
Fair enough. So that is 6 piercing. I'm sorry. That's 6 radiant for the laser sword.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because you used
17 thunder damage. So what?
so you attack with your sword and it shoots a spell as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a
my ability,
channeler.
Yeah, channels the spell attack into my melee attack, and if it hits, I do both the spell and the melee attack.
Oh, that's cool.
If
Yeah,
it doesn't,
it's that risk of missing that you lose the spell.
like my ray of sickness cost me.
Okay. How do you end this? For the captain, anyway.
I gotta do it in style. Spin, laser pointed behind me, the whole samurai move.
Okay.
Straight through the gut.
And the laser sword plus the thunderous damage from your channeled spell, deftly pierced through the captain's protections and out the backside of the captain. You're fairly certain there were a lot of important organs that were in between that strike, as he kind of coughs blood on you and then falls over dead.
Nice.
The kind of glimmering shimmer to his scales now going away and leaving only a dull white. So it's like looking at opal before, where it's got that like multicolored kind of opalescence to it, but now when he's dead, it just looks like a flat white stone. That's his skin anyway. It falls over and sort of like almost like an energy seems to leave him when he dies. You all feel like a tingle, almost like a spark of sorts, without there being any electricity, thankfully, as he falls over dead. The gnome no longer looks deranged and looks kind of panicked as he grabs the bloody side of his head. But it's not his turn. It's Talurra's.
All right, so there's the 2 other guys and the gnome, but we can probably ignore the gnome now, right?
The gnome doesn't look like a threat. The gnome looks rather panicked and, kind of scared. Right. The brief smell of urine present in the area.
So Talurra's gonna turn around to the slug person and the other the Skathári, right?
Yeah.
And just use her dash towards them. Pretty much just teleports at them. And I thought I had an electric blade. No, I have thundering blade. So this time I will not. And also since no one's there. So roll my attack. It is a 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 to hit.
That definitely hits the slug.
Aw, yeah. And so then it takes... 18 points of damage.
All right, the slug falls over.
And...
I should note when the slug dies, it goes... makes like a really loud kind of like farting sound as it falls over and deflates some bladders that were inside its body that were clearly filled with air.
And then the other enemy is around... who else is around the slug? Is it just me? Is it me and the other guy? Or?
You're next to the slug, and so is Eisen.
Okay. Hey, Eisen.
The other guy is the evil red-looking Skitzery is over that way a little.
Hey, Eisen. You need to do a dex save.
Okay.
DC 15.
I get 16.
All right, good. Then you're not thunderstruck.
You've been thunderstruck.
And that's my turn.
All right. And now we go towards the pirates. The gnome frantically pulls wires out of his head, leaving behind a bit of blood. Jumps out of the armor he was fastened into, leaves behind a small trail of urine behind him, and cowers against the side of the ship, saying, "Oh God, please don't hurt me, I didn't do it." And he looks to be wearing a strange utility belt that's missing pieces.
He's no man.
Like the tools that would normally be on his utility belt. They're missing. And then the Skathári goes, "You'll not take me out without a fight." And attacks the closest person, which is Meriel.
Oh boy.
Thank God.
Meriel, I'm in danger.
I think Meriel has full hit points though, right? So
I do. Let's see if it matters.
I'm
I
sure
mean,
you'll be
I'm
fine.
at 9 HP right now, so
He-
I'd rather not get hit.
He pulls out a carbine that he had and fires 3 times at you.
I gotta ask, what's his charisma score? I'm sorry.
What's his what?
Charisma, I'm sorry.
Charisma?
Oh, the Skathári's charisma?
Mm-hmm.
6.
Okay. Alright.
The coarse throat and the lack of stink seems to be the reason he is very uncharismatic. What's your AC, Meriel?
13.
You get hit twice
Oh
It's
no.
lower than mine.
for 14 radiant damage.
Do you not wear armor, Meriel?
I would be dead.
You guys wear armor?
Retroactively, I think I might need to rebuild armor class, because before I said I had 11, and that didn't seem right at all.
That
What's your
doesn't
dex
seem right
score?
at all.
What's your dex score?
My dexterity is a +3.
Yeah,
Okay,
you should
so
have
if you
13.
have- You're
if you have
wearing no armor, you should have 13 as your
I
dex.
am wearing armor.
What's your armor? What kind of armor?
I have a nanofiber vest.
So studded
that's-
leather.
Yeah.
That's plus
So you should have
13,
15.
right? Or, no,
So
yeah, you
it
should
should
have
be 16,
no,
right?
16.
Yeah.
16. It's plus 2 to your armor set, I believe.
Hey,
Yeah, it's an
Blake,
AC of 12 plus 3, 15. No, 15.
Yeah, 15.
You should have 15 AC.
Yeah, 10 plus dex plus armor class, right? Right.
Yep.
And no, it's just armor. It's armor plus dex.
Yeah, studded armor
Plus two
is
studded
12, or nanofiber studded armor, same thing.
Yeah,
It's 12 plus
12.
your dexterity modifier.
Oh, okay.
So 15 total.
Then that was my bad. I did that wrong.
For the future.
It happens.
I'm
You're
pretty
perfectly
sure.
fine because I've done that. I don't even know how many times.
I'm pretty sure I have the lowest AC, but it's because Deborah does not wear armor.
I'm pretty sure I have one of the higher ACs, actually.
Eisen might have everyone.
I've done that as the storyteller. I don't know how many times. And the big bad died when like 4 attacks should not have hit. So
I'm
don't
really
feel
glad.
bad.
I'm really glad that Skathári didn't shoot at me because I would be dead now.
Oh no!
No, you wouldn't.
Question for
I
the
mean,
I'd make sure you're not.
Uh-huh.
when you get a chance, I pinged you on message.
Oh, right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but it is something
Nope,
I need
you're
to
good.
ask.
Oh, there's so many things I missed. That's what I get for not scrolling for like a couple minutes.
does it 14 damage regardless? Like the 15 doesn't make much of a difference?
You still get hit by 2.
Okay.
They fired. It fired 3 times, but one of the attacks was so abysmally low it didn't even get to 10. And then the other 2 attacks were like almost 20, so
Okay.
it would have
That's
hit
fair.
regardless. All right. That was the pirate's turn. Based on your alignment or particular disposition, there is 1 and/or 2 combatants on the field. But it's Eisen's turn. Eisen, you see 1 threat and 1 very pea-covered gnome.
Alright, I will charge the Skathári and lay the smackdown.
All right.
Will 19 hit?
A 19 definitely hits.
Okay. And hammer comes down for 11 bludgeoning.
Okay. Looks as though it had full effect.
And that's it for my turn.
All right. And now we go to Deborah.
Deborah skitters
There's
down.
a very peat-covered gnome and a males of your species, which I can never say correctly.
It took me a bit, but I break it up like Skathári.
Skathári. Okay. I keep adding letters before that somehow.
Yeah,
Skathári.
reading it, it's like how we're.
Brain no work.
Words
make hurty. Yeah, that's what it makes me do when I read it. Anyway.
Well, Mimas is told to attack. Deborah doesn't, even though the gnome went to cower and cry, Deborah is like, oh, they were with the pirates. So Mimas flies over to the gnome. This is my bonus action.
Okay. You get attack at advantage because the gnome is considered helpless. He's curled up in a ball, rocking back and forth, peeing himself.
Another dirty 20, and I need a con save.
Okay.
I'm sorry, gnome.
He seems unaffected from the poison.
Okay, so it's just another 4 piercing.
Okay. It looks as though he
And
is
Mimas
not
is just
doing too good.
On his side, I guess. And then Deborah scurries down 20 feet on the. So now she's actually in range to do things, and the only other one left is the Skathári, right?
Yeah, that's it. This Skathári. Skathári. Ha! See, I got it that time.
There we go.
I'll get it eventually. It might take 21 sections, but I'll get it eventually.
Practice does make perfect, as they say.
I point my hand towards him like this, and coming out of her hand is a blackened mist that seems to fly over to him and attach to him. And I need a dexterity save.
Okay. Uh, 12.
12 does not pass. As he is cursed with the hollowing curse. So he takes...
Ooh, what's that do?
It just does necrotic damage, but... It's like kind of like Witch Bolt, kind of.
Alright, neat.
And I do max, so 12 necrotic.
Okay.
And the black mist stuff seems to just be constantly on him now. He gets... So I'll just say, if I continue concentration on it and I use my action every turn, I just automatically do another d12 necrotic. Can't save against it or anything now. And that's my turn.
Alright, last but not least. Meriel.
So the Skathári is pretty close by.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Let's try a repeater shot again.
Alright.
My higher damaging attack.
Does he have like a pirate name? Is his name like Chit and Jack or something?
I got a 19.
3 IP.
19 is a hit.
Because we have 4 eyes, so he's like 3 IP. He's missing an eye.
Did a 19 hit?
Yep, for sure.
Okay. 2d6 of radiant damage. Uh, 9 damage.
All right. That blast looks like it did a decent amount of damage, and based on the damage everyone else has done, Scroop does not look like he's doing well. But now it's Nox's turn.
Let's see if we can finish up Scooch or whatever.
Scoop.
Scroop. Scroop.
That one.
Roll the
Oh, no.
percentage.
That's percentage.
Oh no.
There you go.
Oh no!
There we go.
We were just saying this.
Remember those 20s you got last time? The
83.
universe is catching.
No, you don't want a high number. 83.
Shoot yourself for 8 points of damage.
Oh, okay. So
Give him ideas.
I'll leave it up to you how Nox does this. And but first I need Blake, since he's the universe, to roll d12.
Right.
What
Me?
happens?
Oh, 9.
Oh, okay. So, in the process of trying to shoot, you launch yourself as hard as you can into the ground, and you take 9 bludgeoning damage and are prone. So I'll leave it up to you how the heck that happens with your gun.
Oh.
It's extremely funny because I had exactly 9 HP.
Do you like
Yeah,
the white
dead,
girl with
but
the
you're not
heavy
doing too
caliber?
much.
Oh my god, the recoil.
Yeah,
in the
do you just
face.
recoil yourself in the face and fall over prone?
No, I imagine the magical energies that her weapon is made out of. Basically, something goes wrong. Her concentration isn't quite there, and basically it explodes in her hand.
I can imagine your concentration waning when you're bleeding out, so.
You're like trying to hold the injury you have in your side from the blaster shots that hit you, and then when you go to make the shot, you kind of like fizzle ever so slightly, and that fizzle creates the briefest spark, and the nebula goes, and then you just fall backwards on the ground from the spark. Of
I
your
just imagine
fizzling.
like a feedback loop, like from
Right,
the
right.
other, like the ethereal plane where pulling this energy from, and it's
Yeah,
just like
and it's just like spark.
going to my.
Just
Nox
9 damage explosion just
just
sends
goes-
you flying back onto the deck.
From standing to just instant ragdoll, the camera's doing a 360 around and it just tints red, you know.
There's a bit of smoke in the
Wasted.
area from the explosion of the spark your magic created,
Oh god.
and you are prone for sure.
Best. I'm most definitely prone because I'm also unconscious.
Yeah, you're 0 hit points.
Unless we're on 0G, I guess then I'm not prone.
No, there's artificial gravity on the ground.
Game
From,
over, yeah.
From one of the stoops on one of the neighboring asteroids, all you hear is, "You got knocked up. Ow."
Yeah, pretty much.
From rolling a double net 20 on disadvantage to rolling a net 1 on a normal roll and killing myself. Great.
Oh, Zora, it's your turn. There's a very unconscious Nox on the deck.
I have absolutely no way to assist with that.
There's a very angry Scroop.
Shoots Nox.
Actually, everybody has a way to help with that. You can go up and attempt a medicine check to stabilize.
Punch back
Wait.
to life?
Are they dead? Boom. No, they are.
They weren't, but after I kicked
I
them in
don't
the
know.
head,
Let me
yes.
make sure.
Is
Yeah.
your party currently dead? Make sure that they're not currently dead. Sorry, I fucked that up. I know what you were going for, but I completely messed that up. How far is Mr. Scroop?
Mr. Scroop is about 10 feet from you since you were over in the fray of things.
Oh, lovely. I will do a lovely little spin to cut the distance, and I will channel an Eye of Anubis into our little friend.
All right.
Let's see if this one hits. 23 to hit.
Damn.
That is definitely a hit. You exceeded his armor class by 10.
Let's see now. 7 on the radiant damage,
That darn space dog again.
and 5 on the necrotic damage.
All right. He goes and falls over dead.
Nice.
As he does, you see part of his spirit like fall out of him and fade off and head towards Deborah and then disappear.
The Shadow Realm?
The gnome goes, I give up. I surrender. Stop chewing on me, you blue moon. And he starts trying to shove your homunculi away from him.
Does he attempt a strength check? Why not?
He's just like, get off, I surrender.
Mimas,
just trying to push it
Mimas's
away.
teeth shrink back to normal and gets off. And Deborah glides down to Nox. And Deborah pulls out a needle, and it's got black string on it. And she's like, "Don't worry, I'll save you." And a bunch of shadow arms, insectoid arms, come up, and they all have needles with the black yarn. And she just starts sewing you up and fixing you. And she casts Flawed Reconstruction on you.
Oh god. Now you roll max and I just die because I run out of max hit points.
Ah, you say that. You heal 15, but your max HP is also down by 15, and it leaves a permanent scar.
Oof.
Oof.
So I like to think there's like permanent stitch marks on you
How long does the permanent reduction last?
until you have a long rest.
Okay, so
Okay.
it's not that big of a deal.
I'm helping.
I just picture the more this campaign goes on, the more we're gonna look like, was it Stein from Soul Eater?
Yeah,
Soul Eater.
because I'm healing your asses.
Stitched all over the
Just
place.
stitches everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
scars will not go away unless Blake has some like medic bay that like gets rid of
Cosmetic.
scars. Yeah.
And Nox doesn't care.
Depends on how evil or good we are. Scars get more noticeable or not.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, Nox like.
Does anyone else need patching up? Ding.
Everyone,
Needle.
no.
Nope, good. I'm good.
After seeing you do that, the gnome goes, I'll bleed out before I have you do that.
Oh, don't
I
worry.
need to touch it
I'll
up.
fix you right up.
No. I'm fine. You stay back. There.
No, Gnome continues to bleed out and dies.
I
How
don't know
bad?
what your name is. Please don't heal me. I have a medical kit. I'll be fine.
How bad off is the gnome right now?
The gnome
Bloody?
has 4 of 15 hit points. He had more than that when he was in the armor. He doesn't now that your moon
No.
has been chewing on him.
Nox looks at Deborah and is like, Fuck, do you have a medical license?
You don't need a medical license to be a witch. And I heal
That's
the
how-
gnome.
Oh god,
The
you can
gnome, the gnome attempts to run away.
I heal the gnome 12, so it literally keeps the same hit points it has, but now that's maxed.
I don't know how you did that without making a mistake like the other one, but thanks.
No, I'm saying, like, he has 4 max hit points right now.
Oh, okay.
He's at 404 HP.
Because I healed him
You stitch him
12, but he has 16 max, you said, before that?
His head has this weird scar on it that goes all the way across, because you stitched most of that together first, because that's where the plugs were kind of jabbed into his head.
Mm-hmm.
You're not sure if he's very appreciative of that or not, as that's where the permanent scar is, because it's right there on his face. The rest of him was just bite marks from, I keep forgetting the name of Mimas, sorry. Mimas, but those didn't look as bad as the damage on his head. He kind of goes, thanks, I guess. What's your name, by the way?
The name is Dil'xiri'ssur'a.
You got a nickname?
Deborah.
Deborah. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Deborah. You can call me, well,
Patches.
I guess I'll give you my gnome name, since the name I had with them is no longer valid. You can call me Crankshaft.
One who cranks a shaft. Why were you working with them? It seems that you are of not your own will.
Of my own will. That armor was plugged into me. Thanks for helping.
Talurra starts looting the bodies.
I was just gonna say.
To those of you who loot their bodies, the captain has heavy impulse frame armor, and a lot of the rest of his equipment looks as though it is useless now, but he does have a repeater.
It appears all of them only have these small, stringed instruments when we looted them. Sorry.
The slug and the other Skathári had just regular impulse frame armor, and they had standard carbine weapons.
All right. Well, we can add these to our collection. So you said there was the heavy impulse armor, 2 regular impulse armor.
Yep, impulse frame armor. Yeah. And then heavy impulse frame was the captain's.
I gotta ask, do you have, like, maybe later, you don't have to do this right now, but do you have any, like, references for visually how this armor looks?
Yes, it actually fits around the outside of the person, in like almost like a suit, of sorts. It snaps on around the outside of the person. The armor kind of like snaps around the front. So you'd like step backwards into the boots, and then the armor would snap on around, kind of like
kind of like the power armor in Fallout, but not as tanky.
Right, not as tanky.
Kind of more like Iron Man 2 with the briefcase suit.
Right. Okay. All 3 of these suits of armor count as light suits when they are worn.
Damn.
They were modified with some very sketchy modifications to fire a small ion cannon. The impulse frames were, but you may need to work on fixing those before you can effectively use them.
All right, and also, so for the weapons, you said?
There are 2 standard carbines, and the captain never got to use his concussion rifle.
All right. Anyone want any of these things?
What is a concussion rifle?
I'm good.
Isn't that what Notch just did to
rifle
herself?
does thunder damage, but is useless against targets that are within 20 feet.
Oh,
You
interesting.
can't use it against targets that are within 20 feet, but otherwise, if they're far away, you can use it normally.
It's,
It does thunder damage.
That's a cool mechanic.
2d8 thunder. It has sighted. It's a 2-hand, and it's a blaster. I just pulled it up now.
It's
Yeah,
not a
it's just
simple.
like
It's not a
it's a
simple blaster, right?
No,
Okay.
No.
it's a martial.
Okay.
It has 120/360 for its range.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it's useless within 20 feet.
120 for the
Okay.
concussion rifle. It is 150, 600.
Oh, well, this one's not.
It's a custom one. Yeah.
There you go.
And
That's
I
why
need
it's
to write
useless
this
if you-
down.
That's why it's useless within 20 feet. Because I'm sure the regular one doesn't have that either.
No, it has sighted, which does, I think, limit it. I don't remember what sighted does exactly. If you think up here, it tells what the properties do. No, it doesn't. I just can't. I dislike the blaster rules. I'm not gonna lie.
The captain also fired the only charge that was available for an impactor cannon that's attached to his armor.
Mm-hmm.
It looks as though you can take it off, though, if you didn't want it to be attached to the armor. The impactor cannon does radiant damage.
Oh no, yeah. So for the sighted actually does have disadvantage. It gives disadvantage on attack rolls against targets within 20 feet. So it has more or less that, except yours is a bit more extreme.
Yeah.
Would that be affixed to marine armor?
The impactor cannon could be, yes.
I knew you were going to ask that.
Well, I'm
It
the
fits
only one
perfectly
always
with
in a
the-
battle frame.
Yeah, I was about to say
It
fits
does.
perfectly with Eisen's character.
Oh yeah.
Well, just
The-
Mav in general.
Impactor cannon that the captain had has a range of 30/90,
Hmm.
and it does 2d10 radiant damage, or 2d12 if the target is within 15 feet.
You might want to put these in Discord just to be sure we get everything right.
Yes.
I like the concussion blaster. I think that's a cool idea. The thunder damage, but you have to be at range.
The concussion rifle
Yeah.
is nice.
Yeah. If you want it, it's all yours.
I can't. I'm
Would
not
anyone be
proficient.
opposed to the shoulder cannon?
I didn't say Talurra can't use any of these, so
I'll take it, but you know what Deborah's gonna do with it? She's gonna take it apart and use it in making like a fancy staff or something stupid. It's not gonna be for, you know.
For something stupid.
So that's a no, Eisen. You're the only one that can use these weapons.
Actually, I think
It's a
Talurra.
martial.
Let me see. What
Martial
Talurra
weapons,
has
I don't-
some- No, I don't think she has. No, she doesn't have that.
Yeah,
She has
I was going to
specific
say,
ones.
Meriel, you have a specific list of weapons you can use, right? Kind of like Rogue.
Yeah, like
Just like
finesse weapons. And...
Yeah, Talurra
Same.
has the same
Right.
thing.
Same here. I got a specific set. and
So,
that's not on
What
it.
you're saying is, Eisen, do you want any of the guns? If not, we're selling them.
Yeah, I'll weld one to the suit.
All right. You attach the impactor cannon to your dwarven armor pretty easily, actually. It seems to snap in rather well. Write down the impactor cannon's stats here, if you will, Eisen, or do you want me to send them to you privately in chat?
You can send to him and I'll add him down.
Eisen eventually
I
is just
think-
gonna be like in permanent T-pose and just have like every gun possible glued to their.
Thank God for Space IKEA.
It has a range of 30/90.
Nope.
Ooh.
Did
Causes
he
the
just
DM drop.
sneeze into lag?
Oh, you're back.
What happened? Okay.
You lagged for a second. You said
Oh,
30/90, I think, and that's where it
Yeah,
went off.
the range is 30/90. It does 2d10 radiant, or 2d12 radiant if they're within 15 feet. However, the impactor can be used once per turn.
Okay.
It has to cool down afterwards.
And that, copy paste that.
These dogs are back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, space dogs have returned.
They want the space dog treats.
They now know the fighting is over, and now they want treats.
Mm-hmm.
We're good boys.
The good boys.
What's going on with
We
my
need to open that up again. Just check to see how this works, because this might be really broken.
Sorry, my internet appears to be very glitchy
All good.
right now.
We're used to it. We're used to playing with Aya.
Yeah, Ai's
Oh.
internet tanks so bad.
It's because she uses Wi-Fi, and the
Oh.
Wi-Fi isn't anywhere close to her,
Yeah, why?
if I remember properly.
Why the five?
Mine's in the
though?
next
Oh my
room.
god. Meriel, you don't need armor anymore. I can cast mage armor on everybody.
Oh, baller.
I just looked this up. I'm like, I have the mystical armor. Which you can cast mage armor without using a spell slot.
Ooh,
Is it not on
very
yourself?
nice.
It's just
No, make
No.
it yourself only,
Oh.
isn't it?
No, it's touch.
You can cast it on other people,
It's
but
touch, not self. The one for Warlock specifies
that's
self only.
right.
This one says you can cast a spell mage armor.
Okay, I have an AC of 11. Please give me the armor, please.
Boop,
Oh my
boop,
god.
boop. Just every morning, just Talurra, boop, boop, boop.
Okay.
Yes,
I'm gonna
please. I want
Alright.
mage armor.
There
I think-
is the impactor cannon. Eisen, you're the only one that can use the carbines or any of the other weapons. Do you take any of those?
What's the best one?
Probably the concussion rifle.
Yeah, I would go with that.
Probably.
Yeah, the concussion rifle.
Alright, I guess I'll keep that as a sidearm.
All right, so I'll delete that from our list, and I put it into the survival gear stuff because
Ooh, mage armor's 13 plus stacks.
yes, that's why I'm like, oh fuck, I can put this on everybody.
Okay.
Like hell, I could put it on Eisen, and even if he doesn't use it ever, it'll at least be good for a backup.
Mm-hmm.
Just in the morning. Boop, 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 boop. All right, let's go. That seems like an oversight, 100%.
Can we customize what it looks like? Can I have the green one?
Sure. I was gonna say, like, yeah, I've looked at that. I'm like, that's an oversight. Like, that has to be an oversight.
You can save your energy when it comes to Zora. Even if the mage armor was active, it would still be the exact same starting AC for me.
Would it be? What armor are you wearing?
Channeler armor.
Yes.
Oh,
They have
that's
their
right,
own.
channel
They have
armor.
their own unique armor. I do remember.
That's
that.
right.
I did read that wrong. The concussion rifle has disadvantage within 20 feet, just
Yeah.
like sighted.
So it's
Mm.
it's sighted.
Still cool. I like it.
Yeah, I like that. It's
Encouraging ranged.
I mean,
It's very Tau.
yeah. Run away and hope to God they never catch you, and you can kill them before they do.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, the Tau. Such.
Don't hit
Babies.
me.
Okay, and there is the concussion rifle. It's a bit different than the standard one in the book. I know the standard one in the book has more range. You may be able to normalize this weapon so that the range is correct, but this concussion rifle looks a bit custom.
What would the hit modifier be for it? What is it based off of?
Dex, because it's a ranged attack.
Yeah, yeah. It uses your dex to hit, so dex plus your
Dex plus
thank you
plus
proficiency. Brain fart. Thank you.
I got you.
I'm like, word.
I
No.
have a very, very much encyclopedic knowledge of this game by
Where-
now.
Good.
Now, would I have proficiency in this, or?
As a
you have
fighter,
more
Proficiency
yes.
in both of those because they're martial weapons.
As a fight.
If it's a weapon, you can use it.
Yeah.
That's the fighter's thing.
Yep.
except for improvised weapons for some
Yeah.
reason.
Improvised,
Brawler,
nobody
done.
can use those except the drunken monk.
Except Tavern Brawler's kind of shit.
It's shit, but I'm
Yeah.
just, if you want to stay fighter. What was I gonna say? Whatever. Alright, never mind. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Damn space dogs.
Mhm.
All right. There's all the weapons. Otherwise, the armor this year is pretty heavy in the armor department. one would even say it requires us a decent amount of training to use effectively. The gnome retrieves a tool belt stashed within the pockets of the, or tools for his tool belt that were stashed within the pockets of the captain.
All right. Yeah, Talurra just kind of looks at the armor and says, I assume we can just sell these.
The gnome nods.
She wasn't really talking to the gnome. She was talking to the group.
Looks at the captain with the
You were standing
hole.
next to the gnome.
Looks at the
I didn't even see him
captain with
there.
the gnome, or with the gnome, Jesus, with the hole blasted through its torso from the thunder damage Zora did. And it's like, I can use these spare parts.
Talurra just kind of shakes her head and goes to take a seat at the against the side of the ship and just kind of leans back and like, all right, let's get going. To the captain.
Captain's been steering this entire fight, by the way. That's why he wasn't participating.
Yeah.
He's navigating the asteroid belt.
Yeah, that's fine.
Keeping our asses alive.
Like, mid-combat, and you're having this epic fight on the deck, and he's literally, like, steering the ship through an asteroid belt. So while you're having this, the ship has been, like, spinning around and, like, moving about. But the artificial gravity kept you anchored in a way that the deck was down, thankfully.
Deborah pulls out an antimatter dagger and goes all Monster Hunter on the captain. I have never seen a dragonborn of this kind before.
Gets only gems. Gets mad about the
Survival check?
Sure.
What are you attempting to harvest from this dragon? Its skin, its meat, its bones, its organs?
The most mystically looking parts of it that I might be wearing later.
Pearl.
The skull, yeah.
It's pearl. No, the pearl.
It had a pearl? Oh,
It's a Star Wars
the
reference.
pearl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want the pearl. Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah.
Sorry, it took me a second.
Wrong dragon, but I appreciate the reference.
That's not a great
No. From
Thankfully, it's
Monster
not that
Hunter.
type of dragon.
Monster Hunter, you can get. What was it?
No, it was a
No,
crate
it was a
dragon
crate
reference.
dragon
It was-
joke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
the crate dragons. Mandalorian.
I just
Star
rolled-
Wars Galaxies.
We just watched episode 2.
What is-
Excuse you, crate dragons have been around longer. As
They
have
have been
pearls.
around longer than Mandalorian, but that was a really good one that was in Mandals.
Star Wars Galaxies.
I'll give you a hint. It's got a 6 in it, but it's not 60.
6, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Using your antimatter dagger, you go to extract all the really good parts in this dragonborn and deftly make all of them useless and cut them to pieces. Most of the skin is useless now, and you attempt to try to cut it open to get to the insides. You cut through all the bones, the rib cage. You damaged many of the internal organs. And the really cool-looking internal organ where you think the breath weapon came from, you also cut straight through when you cut it open.
Deborah's upset, and she just pushes the body over the ship.
And man, we should give you the call sign Butcher.
So, quick question: the captain's armor,
Uh-huh.
would that be considered heavy armor, or?
I think all of them
It
are.
is heavy impulse frame, wherever that is on the Dark Matter armor chart.
Let me look.
I'm assuming Talurra has a hotkey.
Heavy impulse frame.
Yep.
There are no stats for heavy impulse frames.
Oh, cool.
Lovely. The main reason I ask is because I could technically wear heavy armor. I just don't know if it'd be worth it or not.
Let me find it. See if I can find it.
Well, no rush on it. I mean,
Impulse frame is not so much a normal armor that you can just wear. You would need specialized training for
Yeah.
it because it is the
Is it-
Space
There it
Marine
is.
armor.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
a
it was.
Space Marine
Okay.
armor.
gotcha.
Oh,
gotcha.
so
Never mind.
the impulse frame armor is probably the same thing. His is just the upgraded version of it, perhaps.
Okay.
Okay, my bad.
So
Yeah.
all the armor you have is useless unless you're a space marine.
Yeah, so it's we're gonna go around selling Mandalorian armor.
It's
And a
environmentally
armor onto
sealed.
my armor.
It's
Wield the arm on top of the
it,
arm.
and the normal impulse frame is a suit of environmentally sealed heavy armor.
Mm-hmm.
So you need
I
heavy
can
armor
make
proficiency.
space armor on top of this space armor.
I was gonna say, Zora, your AC probably is higher using your unique AC anyways because it's heavy armor, so you'd only get the base armor class.
As in this particular designation of Space Marine armor does not look like anything you really think anyone would care about. This might be some sort of modified armor from... You don't even recognize the symbols on it anymore. It's probably a human faction, so most likely no one gives a crap about it. Because a lot of races in the galaxy hate humans.
But yeah, we
They
can
blame them for the replacers.
just sell them. We can just sell the armor to someone.
Yeah. Captain Arbalest gets you through the worst of the asteroid belt, and in the distance you see a stellar storm, a cloud of dust and fine material. And the captain goes, "Best put your life suits back on if you have taken them off. You're gonna need them inside the stellar storm. There's no oxygen there."
I don't think Deborah ever did.
I didn't.
Yeah, Talurra kept hers on. She needs a paranoid.
By the
Yeah,
way, if any of
same.
you took damage that combat, your life suit is useless.
Oh no!
I stitched
we
it together,
had
it's fine.
No. We had the heavy life suits, the combat life suits from way earlier. I remember that.
Oh, you're still wearing the aquatic life suits. Okay.
Was it the aquatic one?
Yeah.
One moment.
Yeah, I would have definitely kept that if that was.
Oh, you guys had those on the Penguin King. I just wasn't sure which life suits you took.
Yeah.
And you do have, like, I think 30-something life suits on the
Yeah,
Penguin King,
where's
so you
my-
may have taken extra.
Where's my list?
Deborah might not be wearing them because environmental problems. Not really a big deal for her.
Actually,
Well,
there's
yours
only-
is more holographic than...
we have 2 extra life suits. However, we have 15 deep sea pressure suits.
Oh,
Which
I have
function
one.
as
I
a
have something
certain
called
armor type,
heavy.
I think, as well.
I have a heavy pressure armor. Is what I
Yeah,
have listed.
That's what yours is. Yours is one of the 15 heavy pressure suits, so yours is fine. Because its made-lead armor can take damage and be okay. Meriel, however, you might need that extra life suit.
Please and thank you.
All right, subtract that from the tally there of cargo,
Yep.
Talurra, and make the
One.
heavy life suit, the heavy reinforced suits fit 14 because
Yep.
Nox is wearing one.
I got that changed out.
All right. And you now have a new, fresh life suit on, Meriel. You quickly put on it. You see the stellar storm coming your direction. The life suit beeps no sooner did you get it on than it says, "No oxygen detected." And the dust that is being blown around in this stellar storm is accompanied by large bolts of static electricity, aka a rather odd red-colored lightning bolt. As you see, it looks very hellish indeed, as the red lightning bolts arc across the parts of the upper parts of the ship. And the captain says, "Best get below deck!" As you barely hear him over the winds of the stellar storm that is just blasting everywhere.
Yeah,
Captain needs to make several
right.
pilot checks.
Talurra's gonna head down below deck.
Yep, let's go.
Same.
All right. Nobody stays above deck.
Nah.
Nah, he told us not to.
Zora, Eisen, you guys go below deck.
Yes, I would
Yeah,
follow.
if Eisen's going below deck, I'm definitely going below deck. Because if he can't handle it, I'm not going.
Eisen doesn't want to get his armor sandblasted. He had
Yeah.
just got a custom paint job done on it.
That's fair.
You get below deck. You get your supplies and stuff that you were taking from the fallen space marine, space pirate dude guys. Things, slug, whatever's. And you get below deck, and the ship kind of lurches like uncomfortably back and forth a few times. Thankfully, everything's secured below deck, except of course you guys. But you don't take any damage from the captain's maneuvering. He did succeed in his piloting checks. and you hear, after a period of several hours, you hear barely hear the captain's voice over some of the wind. He goes, you hear, looks like we're through the worst of it.
All right.
Hmm.
Talurra's gonna stay there until we get out of it, mostly.
And after a small period of time afterwards, the wind seems to go away.
Also, for sake on everyone, anyone who wants mage armor, Talurra will give mage armor to.
Okay, I have it on there.
Keep that noted down, because every morning
So what does it do?
it won't do anything for you because we're wearing heavy armor.
Oh.
You're a tank already.
It gives a base 13 AC.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna wheel out some more chop 'em armor.
It's a bonus of, so your standing AC would be 13 plus Dex, but you're wearing heavy armor, which I'm 99% sure is way higher than that.
Yeah, if you have even medium armor, it's better than...
No, medium
No?
armor equals the same thing.
Okay.
Because you can
Most medium armor. I think there's one that's a little better.
No, because I think the highest you get is 15 plus 2, right? Or
Maybe.
I'm looking it up right now because I can't remember the exact.
I don't know what
number.
all the armors are for this campaign.
They keep the same bounded numbers
okay.
for it, I believe. Yeah, the highest is 15 plus Dex, which is 2, so 17. So lower than mage armor can get. Same as studded leather.
And as it sounds like it's through the worst of it, you come up to, those of you who come above deck, and I'm assuming everyone comes above deck now that the storm is gone. The suits tell you it's safe to breathe in the area, and there's definitely oxygen now. And you come up to the captain navigating the boat through a rather large school of space whales. And they make the sounds like normal whale sounds. So those of you who want to just, look up some whale sounds, you certainly can if you want some more ambience. But as it stands right now, the whales are singing whale songs back and forth to each other in a rather beautiful tone. Unlike what you've heard before, these space whales don't look as though they have many predators here, as their numbers are quite large. Either that or someone's been hunting down all the other predators that were hunting the whales, one of the two. You do know that the only thing that could possibly hurt something this large would be either a spacecraft or a space shark.
Did we have enough time for a short rest?
You have enough time for a long rest between now and then.
Hell yeah.
Oh, okay.
The storm was quite epic.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so like I said, just assume whoever wants it has mage armor always up at this point because I have unlimited casting of it. I still think that's a botch on their end.
I think it's a typo, yeah.
I don't think it's a typo. I just don't think they thought of that.
Right.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I have the shielding clip. Does it recharge?
Yes. Once after a
long rest.
24-hour time frame.
Okay.
So
After long rest, effectively.
Right. Effectively, after a long rest, it'll get its battery back and the shield reactivates.
You'll hear the boom.
Yep. Kind of like reactivates around you and then is no longer visible.
God, that was one of my favorite things about my old Xbox because I had the Halo Reach Edition.
I'm just so glad that I have this because otherwise I would have died way earlier.
You wouldn't have
Because they gave me 15 extra hit points.
You wouldn't have had the chance to shoot to kill yourself.
Yeah, that would not have happened.
Fair.
In the distance, you see an immense. This has been probably another week, by the way. So another week passes where you really don't encounter much other than a rather large school of space whales that seem to follow you around. They eventually leave you as you start to approach a rather darker part of the nebula. The part of the nebula here no longer looks like a bluish purple like the rest of this nebula looked, with beautiful lines or striads of purple through the blue. This part of the nebula looks dark red. There's very clearly some sort of energy here, mayhap more than just the rest of the nebula. Your suits all light up with an array of alerts telling you all sorts of environmental effects are present in the area. Deborah, you feel a familiar tingle of radiation and turn your suit on.
Okay.
The area is illuminated a rather kind of horrible red color, much like a blood red, but not quite blood red. It's like a little darker than that. And the suits all tell you there is a high level of radiation in the area. However, in the distance, you see what the cause might be. In the distance, a massive, almost Jupiter-sized planet, seemingly a gas giant-sized planet that looks like a solid planetary mass. Its surface seemingly coated in gold. You also see a nearby moon. This particular moon is inside the orbital range of an asteroid belt. You see a big, bright, glowing green ring, which you can only guess is the source of the radiation that also seems to be around the planet. So it's like one ring of asteroids goes this way, and the radiation belt goes this way, making an X of belts around the planet. The planet itself, as I said, is almost Jupiter in size. There's a very large mass of, you thought it was gold from this distance, but as you get closer, you realize it's fungus. A huge forest of gold-colored fungus. The captain approaches the moon and kind of stops the ship near the moon. In an orbit that you easily could jump from the ship to the moon.
Okay. I was going to ask, what phase is the moon in currently?
Is the radiation ring looking like it is like a natural occurrence, or is it man-made? Or I guess not man, but you know what I mean.
Artificial.
Maybe it's not human,
it could
or
be,
is it artificial?
Yeah, it could be artificial. It could be man-made. Either one is hard to tell. It is brilliantly colored, so that may or may not be an effect of some kind of weapon, maybe, or some effect. The planet's surface looks to be dotted with a very thick fungusy forest. As the captain sort of almost docks the ship at the moon, you see looks to be a storage building of some kind, or like a warehouse. It's quite a large building that is on the moon's surface. The captain kind of stops the ship there and goes, "All right. Per our agreement, you can have what's on the moon. I'll be taking a small skiff to the planet's surface to find the rest of the loot. If you're willing to travel with me to the surface, you may. But this is your treasure. Here. If you wish to leave, you can. I'll take the skiff back to the port. This craft is useless outside the nebula, so don't even try to take it out to space."
Deborah is already leaving to go on the moon's surface.
I just imagine we're waiting for him to leave with a skiff and just blowing him out of the sky while we're in the superior weapons of this thing. And just
There's no weapons on this skiff. Both the small lifeboat version and the big version have no visible weapons.
That'd be funny.
Well, we have the high ground.
That would just be extremely funny.
Oh, Eisen, I think we have a target for your new cannon.
Guess who's on the wrong side of the river? Oh, wrong.
Oh, I love that movie. Such a good movie.
Yeah, Deborah's
right.
checking out the moon. What kind of physical characteristics do we have on this moon?
It is a finely crafted moon made of a strange gray clay-like substance, which almost appears to be like someone or something just went and just swished a giant ball of clay into the surface of. into a moon-like object and stuck a building on it.
Oh my god, it's the little prince.
I dismiss Mimos, and I take as much of this clay as possible.
Okay, there's quite a bit of it here.
And I remake Mimos with this clay.
Okay. It is a gray clay-like substance. It is filled with all sorts of strange regolith that's been impacted into the regolith is moon dust, for those of you not familiar with the term. And it is sort of impacted and squished into the clay, giving the clay a sort of sparkle, almost like glitter was in it, but not really.
Great, so we have a shiny Mimos.
Mimos
Yes,
was made
now
of...
Now Mimos is gray and shiny.
Yeah, Mimos was like beach sand before, if you recall. So,
Yeah.
Also, Nox wants to go with the captain onto the planet because
You see large
they didn't come all this fucking way to
dryads across the surface of this.
To not go all the way. I want to see this weird planet. And die horribly to the radiation from the ring, so let's fucking go.
you go down to the planet with him, and the planet just opens its mouth. It's the dragon the whole time.
I'm the eternal dragon.
I got a skiff in my throat.
We just fly towards it, and then there's like an invisible shield around it that we just crash into at full speed and just die. Just ceremoniously. It's like, well, that's that then, I guess.
Well, fuck.
So much for healing Nox.
All right. If you had lost any hit points at all, like I said, it'd been a week since the time you took to get here, so you have them back. You're healed, and everything is in that respect as far as hit points go.
Okay, let me get rid of the temporary hit points I got for consuming a soul of somebody, or I mean, for no reason at all.
The soul from my kill, damn it.
It was nearby. No one else was going to take it.
We can stop there if you feel that's a good stopping point for this particular episode.
Yeah.
This is a perfect place to end, yeah.
So you have a moon that has a warehouse on it filled with who knows what, and the captain is going to head towards the planet.
With Nox.
We will stop there for now.
Nice.
Thank you for joining us, everyone who is watching. And we will start with some plugs, I suppose. Eisen, do you have any plugs?
None I can think of.
Okay. Any plugs you want to put in there, Zora?
Is it tacky to plug another Dark Matter game?
Nope. Not at all.
Okay.
We're all in the same verse.
Fair enough. In that case, yeah, I do want to plug the Quest for the Quantum Rose, which will be having a guest character. Points over to Vex. Our next episode, I believe.
I don't think the next episode, just simply because I have what's it called? God,
Work.
my brain's not working. No, not work.
Space Madness?
No, I have the game with
Space
Saffron Academy next week.
That's right.
Actually, speaking of that, I should remind Jesse of that.
Yeah. But it's another Dark Matter game, completely different feel and references abounds in its own way. It is extremely fun and definitely worth a watch for more Dark Matter shenanigans. Shenanigans is the right word for that group. So he puts those episodes up on Castbox.
A lot of shenanigans.
And then up on YouTube later. He's already got, I think 9 episodes on YouTube now?
Mm-hmm. He just uploaded the 9th, I think, today.
Yep.
Or yesterday. And then 10 episodes on Castbox.
Exactly. But that's my plug.
I'm going to pistol whip the next person who says shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
As far of what's that restaurant you really like?
Oh, you mean shenanigans?
You mean shenanigans? Oh. By the way, those of you who didn't catch,
Baby Yoda.
the child is in this particular location.
To get him an egg.
If you put a knife
I think
in
it
his
ate
hand,
like
totally
3
mumbled
eggs
that,
this
yeah.
session.
if you put a knife in his hand, he looks like a little tunberry coming up behind you.
give him a hood or something, or a penguin.
Do not give the child a fucking knife.
No.
No!
That's a very bad idea.
I have a knife.
But we'll go over to Meriel. Do you have any plugs?
Yeah. You can follow me on Colliloquie at Twitter. I like to draw a lot of D&D art. I do Pokemon, Animal Crossing, anything that has like a cuter or more anime aesthetic. And it's only fair. He plugs me all the time. I'll throw in a plug for Altaziel because he couldn't be here with us today on Twitter. And he also has a Not Safe for Work art blog, Neon Witchfire, on Twitter. His commissions are currently closed, but I would keep an eye out for those once he's opening them again. He goes anywhere from cute girls to sci-fi to horror. Really
awesome mechs.
Definitely check him out. My commissions are open. I have a few irons in the fire right now, including from our dear Vexy.
Vex and Hera, both of us.
Yes. I'm currently waiting on my players to get back to me, all of them. So, but yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. Thanks. And Nox, do you have any plugs?
Yes. Colliloquie mentioned some art that she's going to do for me soon-ish, hopefully. And that is for my Masks game that I meant to start tomorrow, but last week has been a lot TM. So we're delaying by another week. So I can get my sleep schedule together again and just like finish preparing some stuff. Yeah, but it will be at
12:30 p.m. EST.
12:30 p.m. EST. Yes, over on Vex's channel on Fractured Moon D&D.
Which you can find in Scotty's My Friends list.
On Sundays, I should say that too.
Yes, on Sundays.
Down below if you're watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's a good transition. Talurra, any plugs?
Well, like Sarah said, I've got that Masks game coming up. You can also find me every other week. So this coming week, and Scotty as well on my channel where we play Saffron Academy, which is a whole lot of chaos. And hopefully this time I'll actually wake up so we can stream it. Because God, I fell asleep and just did not wake up that one game.
Yep. November 12th at 8 p.m. EST.
Yes. And then every other week from that. So.
All right.
And it's a blast.
Last but obviously not least, our host, Scotty.
Yes. Thank you for watching. If you like the show and any of the other shows on here, you can check out the playlist down below for YouTube if you're watching on Twitch. The next game that will be on this channel will be on November 10th at 8 p.m. EST, I'm pretty sure is what it was. And it's Unwritten, and it's run by my girlfriend, Cap Callie. And it's like a fairy tale / Brothers Grimm kind of thing going on. We had our first episode 2 weeks ago. Some old lady put a curse on one of the characters at the end of the first episode, so we're going to see what the heck's going to happen next there. Also, you can follow me on Twitter, and on my profile page on Twitter, I have a link tree, or flow page, I forget what it's called, the one that has all your social media links on it. And it has my DM skill products, and also has a link to my Fiverr where I have multiple different kinds of gigs that you can have that are graphic design. If there's something that you want me to do, graphic design wise or illustration wise, and it's not listed on there, you can message me and I'll add it just for you. And I guess that's everything for me.
All right. Well, stay tuned. And next time we tune in, the party will find out, or the squad rather, will find out either what's in that warehouse and what's on the surface of this very large planet. Mm-hmm. Should have a lot of gravity, or does it? So, what is going to happen? We'll find out next time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, real quick. I just realized I don't think we credited our music. from Ambience
Oh,
Labs.
yes.
I turned
Yes.
it off about a minute or two ago, but the background that you guys were hearing was from a YouTube channel called Ambience Labs.
Ambience Lab has some amazing stuff. Check out their stuff there. They've got stuff for sci-fi. They've got stuff for standard D&D adventures. They've got stuff for wizard towers and all sorts of other different exciting stuff that might be nice to have some good ambience for. Their ambience is very nice to listen to. It's very subtle. It's something that I think you could use in just about any real scenario. There's even a few steampunk ones in there I'm seeing kind of mixed in with it. So you got a lot of different genres to pick from and a whole lot of different ambience.
Okay.
And
right.
that's all we have for tonight. So stay tuned next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.